All right. We're live now. Dadgummit
Okay.
peeps. What are you doing? We got Naga in the Naga Samurai, Goichi in the house.
Namaste.
We've got Peeps in the house. Where you at, Peeps?
What the heck? How come I don't see it live on? There we go.
It's live, I believe.
What's up, the revealing unknown? Shelby in the house. Tweeting this out right now.
Man, something's weird with. Hey, Teacup. Hey, Red. What's going on, Shelby? The revealing unknown. Oh, who else we got there? I hope y'all didn't wait too long. I cannot
No?
get my screen to do the way I want it to do. Hey, applesauce. We have applesauce in the clubhouse.
Nice. What's up, applesauce?
What's going on, Applesauce? Up, everybody?
You're muted, applesauce. Your mic is muted, applesauce. Love for angels, how you doing? Or she
Greetings.
might just be muted for a reason. Man. All right, what's been going on, y'all?
Just
Nut
life.
honey.
I haven't heard that in a minute. Yeah.
Nothing, honey. That's been a while, ain't it?
Yeah.
You know, the one I missed as a kid was that daggum dog food commercial from Chuck Wagon. That daggum Chuck Wagon come through there, those horses pulling it, and them cowboys with the whip going, yeah, yeah. And that daggum dog would chase that Chuck Wagon all the way to the daggum cabinet sink, you know, the cabinet under the sink. And they'd go in there and the door would shut. And that dog would be out there like, oh, I want some Chuck Wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Any of y'all remember that?
I actually don't.
Well, I'm a lot older than you. We got Exploring Ginger in the house. Dr. Jack Skywatcher. Hello. Hola. Must be from, would that be like Hawaii? That's how my dad calls it, Hawaii. Man, I was talking to Naga earlier, and he told me some crazy stuff about me. It was
Talking
crazy.
about blood types.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
You
All of
think
this
we should get into that again?
is your world, brother.
It was interesting. I mean, we'll get to the playbook thing here because we don't have much time. This is the last live broadcast of Hangouts ever, probably. And it's kind of going to be a goodbye farewell. I was trying to get the original crew together. We got Paul's the name in the house. How you doing? But yeah, man, I was sitting there talking before we came on air, and how did that get going? Now we're talking about
Origins. We're speaking about origins and things of that nature, like where we're from and everything. And I was letting you know that blood type is a really good indicator to let you know, like potentially, like if you were a star seed initially, so forth and so on, things of that nature.
right.
Yeah, we're getting somewhere somehow. We're seeing something. Hey,
Our blood,
another.
our blood type determines what we should eat, all that type of stuff.
Right. And that was interesting. I need to figure out how did we get on that. It's because I told you about that crystal that come out of my foot or whatever it was.
Right, alien
Hey,
man.
Shanahona,
Yeah.
Jenny
Shannon
B.
Home.
I can't
And
really look. I'm need to really pay attention to Naga here because he's got. I mean, what he told me earlier just blew my mind, and I'd kind of like to let y'all hear on it. I thank y'all for showing up, and we will get on the playbook in a minute. But Naga graced us with his presence, and man, he's got stuff that I just like to hear, and I'm sure all y'all do. And I just want to kind of rehack over what we'd already talked about before we went on the air. And I was like, heck, I wish we had been on air with that. So it'll never be the same as it was, but we can rehash that topic. And that's what I guess we all do. So,
Well, go ahead, brother.
oh, I was just saying, well, how did we get on that? I was talking about I had like this crystal come out of my foot. And then you were telling me about, you asked me my blood type, and I told you,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
Then you explain that. So I'm just trying to figure out, would you want to talk about all the blood types
I
in
can
an
run.
order?
Yeah, I can run through it so I don't take up so much time. You know.
Yeah. I could
But
mute that way we don't have to worry about you getting interrupted and not everything. And
yeah, I do it quickly and then I mute. You know, and once I like again, this is all a part of the series we've been talking about as far as knowing yourself and learning yourself, like we did with the life path numbers. These are tools. The alphabets and the numbers are perfect tools that the creator itself left here on earth so that we all could navigate this place a little bit easier. So when we talk about blood types, not only does that have to do with your diet, but it can also give you an indicator of where a lot of your roots are. So when we talk about, I start with the A type people. The majority of A type people, especially when you understand the three phases of Earth and other things, your A type people, A negative especially, those are people who have connections directly to inner Earth. Their roots and everything, they were some people and ancestry that were coming from the inner Earth. A positive people have a connection with the inner earth as well as the upper earth, where we are on now, that they call Midgard, so forth and so on. Your B type people, there's a mystery behind the just like people who have straight B blood type, they're very rare. And most of the connections with them is that they were a mixture of a star seed as well as a earth being, but surface earth. Moving on to your AB blood types, those are your AB or aboriginal or ab original people or AB original, how you want to look at it. So a lot of the original darker skinned people, and yes, some people of lighter skin and Caucasian, if you have AB blood type, then that means that your lineage, you were some of the original people that were planted on the face of this earth. You are a earthbound person with connections to this place, but to the magnificent, Midgard or surface area of the earth. Um, and then you have your O people, your O negative people. So when we get into star seeds, such as the indigo children, the rainbow children, the crystal children, a lot of your indigo children as well, like myself, are O positive. A lot of O positive people have connections that come from the ethereal plane or the heavens, as well as a mixture of the earth here of the surface. And your O negative people, those are the people that I found that have the hardest time on earth outside of A negative people. O negative people means that they came strictly from the heavens. They were more than likely some of the few people who had the choice in their lineage. Well, they were in the ethereal heavens and they decided to come down here to earth and to take on a corporeal body, as well as to experience what this is like. And so that's one part of the Bible that people read, but it's sort of misconstrued. Your fallen angels, they didn't necessarily disobey what that God at the time told them, but there was a choice. And the Creator let them know that if you choose to go to earth and take on a corporeal body and mate with the inhabitants of the earth, then the connection that you had to the ethereal heavens will simply be cut off. You will have to start all over again, going through the corporeal world, then coming through the atmospheric world and working your way on through. So, and then last but not least, you have your RH negative people. And for the most part, those tend to be people that just simply came from a different dimension. Because it's spoken, there are many worlds that are there. There are many worlds to be inhabited. And this place that we call Earth is simply one of them. So a lot of RH people, they found a way to get over here to this particular Earth from the other world that it came from. There are other corporeal worlds outside of Earth. So the RH negative people typically tend to just be people who have come from another corporeal world and that made it over here some type of way. So I'll leave it there because, like I said, that covers the majority of what your blood types are. And like I said, it gives origin to self. And if you really research it, you will see these things about yourself. So outside of our life path numbers, we should be looking at the our blood type, and we should also really look into the Briggs Myers personality test, because those alphanumerics are another type of divination, like our blood type as well as numerology. So I'm going to go
Well,
mute. Go ahead,
okay.
brother.
Well, I was gonna ask you. We got to talking and everything, and we figured that I was a negative, and I was a number 4. And how did that carry off to where you were saying I was the number 8 kingdom? How'd you say that?
So
The
when you
inner
did,
earth thing?
yeah, okay. So when you had the other numbers around you, you had 3 8s around you. As I've said before, all that the 8 is the infinity sign turned sideways. So there was more of a directive to you showing the connection that you had to the earth. Because like I said, the earth symbol is that infinity. The earth itself doesn't die in the way that people does. It's just in a perpetual cycle of rebirth and death as well. And I liken that to the indigo child aspect of you, because if you're most indigo children, we're uncomfortable here. We came to destroy
Right.
this place so that the crystal children can come and rebuild it in beauty and in perfection. And then our rainbow children who are being born now, but unfortunately stifled, they're here to teach us how to forget all that shit and just love, to love intently. But like I say, I believe that the cell phones and things of that nature was built specifically for them to distract them, because they're supposed to be here teaching us love. That's why these younger people are so carefree. They don't give a shit about nothing, because all they're supposed to be doing is just teaching how to love and fellowship, but they're being stifled and distracted. So
Well, those
that's how.
cell phones,
What'd you say, brother?
those cell phones are just to suck them in and capture them from
Yes,
reality.
can't do their job. They can't do their job. They're supposed to be spreading love like there's no tomorrow right now, but they can't right now because of the things that are going on.
Yeah, that's crazy. But what'd you say? I was from the 8th kingdom. How did you say that? And that's how we figured. And my birthday had all those 8s in it.
No, I
And
was saying
I'm
that
from the
that you're from the inner earth. The inner earth
right.
is different. Yeah, it's more metals down there. Is more oxygen. It's clearer down there. So you would have a hard time, kind of dwelling on the surface or whatever. But what keeps you surrounded, like I said, is the fact that with those other 8s around you, that's the infinity sign. That's why you never get sick. Uh, Things of that nature, because you have all of that raw iron and raw oxygen in your lineage.
And is that why I love living out in the middle of the woods? You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely,
And
absolutely.
like today, I was holding a snake in my hand because I had to talk to it and tell it to stop messing with my hummingbird feeder. And I looked at him and I said, "This is the 4th time I got you down, and the first time I've touched you." And he was looking me right in the eye. And when I
The same
got through scolding him, I sat there and petted him on his head, and I let him down. But I'd walk way away. He'll get back. I think he might have listened.
Wow. Wow.
I'll I'll have hummingbirds come up and tell me the snake's out there, or they'll come up and say they're low on hummingbird feed. And, you know, it's crazy, man.
Wow.
It's like, I don't know. I love nature. Well, how's everybody doing out there?
Yeah, what's going on in chat out there?
I'm
about
just
to give you a
welcoming. I'm just welcoming in everybody. Bamboo just came in chat, and I was just welcoming and telling everybody thanks for coming by. Interesting Things is in there. Dr. Jack Skywatcher, Love for Angels, Pause the Name, Hurdy Gurdy Man, Shelby Squash,
Yeah, greetings to
Jenny B,
everyone.
Exploring Ginger, Shanna, homie, just she stopped by and just wanted to show. She's streaming your live from her channel, she said.
Well, thank you.
And did you say that Interesting Things was in here?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That brother caught something on one of his videos I've never seen before. He had like a chubby hummingbird that was sitting down, and two things: I've never seen a chubby hummingbird, and I've never seen one actually not fly. So he was able to capture some I've never seen in my life ever, you know, on video. Because usually if I even touch my camera when the hummingbirds are around, they would disappear. But he has a chubby hummingbird that is actually sitting still.
That's
Blew my
cool.
mind.
Well, you know what I did one time? There's this building I rented in Jackson, and it's a commercial building that I work my business. And there's this old satellite dish out back, and I had a hummingbird feeder hanging off the corner of the eave, and it was right kind of above it. I don't know how long that poor little hummingbird been in there, but it was some square tubing, and it was down in there, and I just happened to hear some fluttering or something. And man, it was like, I don't know, a good 18 inches down in that thing, and I had to sit there, and I finally got it out right. And it was so weak it couldn't fly or do nothing. And I sat there and put its little beak down inside one of those holes on that hummingbird feeder, and that thing started eating, and I could feel the life coming back in it. And then it got on my finger, and it just kept on eating. And then it got through eating, and it looked at me, and it sat on my finger and looked at me, and it flew off. I was like, look there. That would have been cool to have on video, but you know, you can't have a camera all the time.
Yeah. Well, those things are very selective in who they deal with. So that was a blessing. If they stop for you or allow you to film them or eat, you know, near you or from your hand or something like that, that is a blessing.
I've had 5 different hummingbirds throughout the last 10 years that I've actually physically had in my hands.
Damn.
I've got bugs that'll land on me and I can pet them, and the next day they'll come back and land on me and let me pet them. I know it's the same bug. Is that not weird?
Wow.
Once again, it's a blessing and a shout out. Well, not a shout out, but acknowledgement to your connection to Mother Earth, brother.
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of name I should have, an Indian name. Dirty Man. Oh man, that's crazy.
We got Dog
my
Chapter for Life in the house. We got My Skies 5D in the house. Exploring
Bye.
Ginger. Red. What's going on, my 5 Sky Ds?
You know what's weird?
Who else?
I've got my phone over here, and the last chat I see is at 10 o'clock. Why is that? I see Roots
Interesting.
is in the house. My Skies 5D, yep. Hello. I'm trying to figure out why. I guess I had to refresh it, showing things now. That's weird, man. I keep getting all these glitches.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna make a shout out. Where's Tales of the Blue-Eyed Indian? Your presence is requested on the panel. Anybody got anything?
No, I didn't hear or see Tails at all anywhere, actually.
That's why I'm kind of waiting on, talking about that playbook. I wanted Tales to get up here because
Is Applesauce still here? She's sister's very quiet.
she might be busy doing something.
Okay.
I don't know, but she showed up. She's shy, man. She's shy.
Well, brother, I'm going to mute my mic and like I said, if you get ready to talk about the playbook, that's your world. I'm just here to support you, brother.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I did. I put out an invite for Emily Shane because she said if I did something later to give her a holler. I put out. Let's see, Shauna and Tika. A lot of folks. Man, I've been putting out invites so much for so many days. We got Nike Girl in the house. Hello.
Hello, Nike girl.
Greetings to everyone, Nike girl, everyone. Just hope everybody's at peace, got some love and some happiness in their life, and hopefully prosperity follows. Just speaking good things to and over everyone.
I can't figure out. Peeps, why are you quiet over there?
Trying to see if I can get a hold of Tails over here.
I sent him an invite. I didn't see this. We got Dog Adopter for Life. How you doing? That's on up in the chat. Finally got this thing to start working over here.
Let's see.
That hurdy-gurdy man, I don't know about that character. I just don't know about him. He looks like a double knot spy. Looks like he might have a kaiser blade. I call it a sling blade. Most people call it a kaiser blade. Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
Man, we need some more people working behind the scenes. Where's my committee at? Where's Shauna? I know Teacup's on the other side of the world working.
Trying to see if I can get.
Yeah, that's right. Teacup lives in the future.
Yeah, it's already August over there. And I'm trying to figure this out. If you have a date, you're going to turn something off. Is it turned off over there because it's already August the 1st?
Wow.
Or are they talking about August the 1st at noon? When are they turning it off? August the 1st? At midnight? 12:01? Yeah, I'm not. Man, I should have ate something. I don't know why I didn't. I'm just a big old dummy sometimes.
Interesting. I can't even find the call that we're on, but I'm still on it.
I would do what?
Yeah, I can't get back into the Hangouts call, but I'm still. I know I didn't leave it, so I'm still on it, which is crazy. Wow.
I'd like to know where my daggum volume button went. I think somebody. I'm gonna be quiet. I just feel like somebody coming here and disappeared my speaker for some reason.
It's crazy.
If you're in that Hangouts chat trying to find something, I feel sorry for you.
I know. No, I was looking for. Well, I know he's in. I know which one he's in.
I sent him an invite.
Hmm.
He should be able to hit the invite in this conversation.
Interesting.
I'm gonna do it again. Tales of the Blue-Eyed Indian. Your presence is requested on the panel.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is your last warning. Oh man. Man, I barely get the invite button pushed and Peeps is on the line. I mean, like a genie, man. Your wish is my command, Mr. President. I mean, that's how he addresses me. And Teacup, she calls me Mr. President. And Shauna. Applesauce calls me baby.
Oh,
There it is. What the hell?
FEMA test Black Moon. Oh, Marfoogle went live early tonight, y'all. They're trying to distract, aren't they? And that vapor made some noise, didn't it? I'm gonna tell y'all what, that daggum CBD oil, that stuff does not give you a buzz whatsoever. But I'm gonna tell you what, it'll get rid of some pain and it'll relax you. I mean, I'm serious, but I mean, it doesn't get you high or nothing. You don't get a buzz. Well, thank you, love for angels. Well, how's the John Bogle family doing tonight? I just wanted to say that.
Oh my god.
That's a good one, isn't it?
Oh,
No, we do have a good network of people in here. I mean, you can't ask for anybody better.
dang, no, I just lost my.
I'm curious to. I am curious, even though I can't read the comments, but I'm curious to know what everybody's direction is right now. Many of us have YouTube channels with Skywatchers, with this, with that. I'm just curious to know where everybody desires for their channel to go, and just what are their next moves and everything.
Well, I'll tell you, my channel just took a direction of its own. I don't know where it's headed. You know what I mean? Hey, Emily's in the chat. Emily, I sent you an invite. Where are you at? Should that be a lowercase L, Peeps?
Uh, yes.
That's why she didn't get an invite.
Hmm.
That daggum, the thing I do that, it'll capitalize that first letter every time. I don't know why they have that in the system, and it does it. Nobody makes a capital letter on their Gmail. You know what I mean? Unless you purposely do it.
No, I think. Well, you sent it to her before. Whatever you sent it to her before? I guess that's how you should send it.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna try it. I think I had to manually type it in then. I'm not sure. But that would be cool to have her. We could just sit back and let her and Naga sit there and talk. That would be so mind blowing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because man, I mean, Naga blows my mind. Emily blows my mind.
There
She is. Emily
Hi.
Shane is in the clubhouse.
How are you
Hey,
guys?
we got Naga Samurai up in here.
Much
I would like
love.
for y'all two to meet, and I would like for y'all two to talk for real. There's no more need of me introducing anybody. I'm just gonna mute my mic and Listen, I mean, y'all can address me. I'll come in, but that I want to hear what y'all talk about, if you don't
Well,
mind.
Sounds good.
greetings,
Yeah,
Emily.
hi. I'm just a little tired tonight, guys. I've been working a lot with people, but I'd love to chat for a minute. Good night. Sorry, I was saying good night. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good spirits. I'm in good spirits.
Yeah.
The floor is yours
Well, I'm
too, Emily.
fine too.
The floor is yours. Whatever the spirit or whatever leads you to talk
Mm,
about, the
okay.
floor is yours.
All right.
Ready to learn.
That sounds good, brother. Yeah, well, I can just tell you guys a little bit about, what I understand to be true, right? And this is my truth, my perception, my understanding of unconditional love is that people are waking up. They're waking up to the truth of who they are and what's going on, right? And ultimately, really, all we need to understand is the basics of harmony and love, and just being kind to each other, having compassion, because people are waking up to the truth of who they are, that a lot of people know that they are fallen, and fallen doesn't mean that you're bad, that there's something wrong with you. That just means it's a part of you that you have to reconcile. It's the thing that Jesus Christ talks about, which is the transfiguration of Jesus Christ, right? It's that duality within your mind and within your heart. And a lot of people are waking up to that truth and they get scared because essentially you are an angel, you know? And that's what's happening here. The great deception is just that, you know? We are angels, angels that got misguided. Not all of us are those those angels. Some of us are simply here to assist the Most High because we understand what suffering is and pain and all those things because we came here, we chose to experience something we didn't have to experience, and now we're just trying to lead our brothers and sisters home and wake them up and teach them, forgiveness and love and harmony on a different level, on a spiritual level, not a 3D concept of what is going on, because this is all a manifestation of hate that is here, and we have to connect with Mother Gaia and with ourselves and others to understand where to go next. So that's my truth. And, Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the light, you know, and that's what I stand in. And I know who I am and I know why I'm here. So that is my truth.
Beautiful and profound. I love it. Beautiful and profound.
And, there's much more to learn, right, on this journey. We're always humble. We always stay true in what we do believe. But staying in the present moment is how we do that because we can get caught up with the things that are going on in this world. But I try not to do that too much because, people are suffering and they need help. They don't need to be told what they did wrong. They need to be told what they did right, you know?
Beautiful.
And, I'm not about judgment. I have been judged. I have been through so much on this planet. Anyone who knows my story knows that, even a part of my story. So, you judge others, you're judging yourself, right? If you look at me and you don't like me, you have disdain for me. It's because, you have it's something within yourself, and that's what I help people do. I bring that negative energy out, and I help set them free with the love of Jesus Christ running through me. He uses me as a messenger, and that's who I am, and that's who I've always been. I've been doing this since I was 3 years old. You know, I can't explain it. I just know it. It's a knowing. I didn't have to be taught this by any man on this planet. It was written on my heart when I came in, and that's how I'll go out.
Beautiful.
So that's who I am, and I love you all. We all are those people, and we need to unite again in that, because what was taken from you was that it was stolen from you, and you don't have to give it back anymore. but we consent every day. You know, you can't keep consenting, you know, and that's the duality within your own mind. So, sorry, I'm so tired. I had so many people today. It was a crazy day.
It's all good.
And
It's all
I haven't eaten either.
You too.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I was gonna get something to eat, and I was like, I don't have time to eat. You know?
Well, I went and got some vegetarian lasagna. I broke down. I was like, I have to do this. I need food. I need carbs. I need the energy. But I'm
Well, I
just
got
feeling.
some Cheez-Its beside me,
Are
and
you
I've
still
got some Adrian orange slices.
nice? Nice. See, the more we put those foods into our body, it helps us also with the balance, you know, because your chakras need
Right,
to be aligned to understand the divinity that's going in you. You need that balance, right? And that's why you're
right,
drawn to certain foods and crystals and things like that, because they're all these crystals are things that are essentially made up within our body, and our body craves them, you know, for a reason, because that's they have healing properties. I mean, Jesus gave us the ability to do all these things within ourselves. They were suppressed by telling us they were wrong, you know, because
right,
we were told we could never achieve enlightenment, you know, because like
right.
only the ascended masters did that, you know. But in all actuality, you are ascended master. You just forgot, you know,
Right.
because you know Jesus said you will do greater works than mine, right? And I'm telling you, brother, it's happening, you know, and only because you're humble to that fact, because you know at any moment, you know, you could be that person who needs the healing also, right?
Right.
So I just stay humble in that, because I'm not really sure what more I can do, you know, because there's just
Well, you
so
know,
much going on.
when I talk about being in that deer wreck on that motorcycle, and I went to that place that was made out of love and everything,
Right.
you know, maybe I was trying to express a dimension because, you know, I was trying to say it felt like being in a swimming pool, except for instead of water, it was love. But at the same time, that love that was all around you like that
Mm-hmm.
was also moving around you, and it was moving through you, and you were made out of the same stuff. It was just crazy to explain. I'll never forget it. I loved it.
You kind of cut out at the end there, but
Oh,
it
really?
sound
I said I'll never forget it. I loved it.
right. So are you saying like the water was a representation of the love everywhere around you?
Well, I was trying to
Mm-hmm.
say the only way to explain that love that I felt would be like saying you were in a pool of water, except for the water was love.
Nice. I like that.
But it was flowing through you, it was in you, and you were made out of it.
Yes. Well, that's essentially what we are, right? We're energy, water.
Right,
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And when it's flowing properly, right, everything feels really good. So that's how you recognize when your energy's going down and up, you know. You just feel that. You can feel that flow of energy once you tap into it. You know exactly where blockages are. You know where you're holding anger, sadness, you know, because once you elevate yourself to a higher understanding, you start really realizing that all the things that they tell you that are wrong with you are really, it's like a spiritual sickness, you know. So once you're able to get to that type of understanding, a lot of things are spiritually, you know, induced. So
right,
yeah, that's the way I look at it, because, you know, it's you can go to the doctor like a million times, and why is it you feel so sick? But yeah, everything they tell you there's nothing wrong. You know, it's like
right,
okay, so if there's nothing medically wrong, then it must be spiritual, I guess, So,
Well, I don't believe in these doctors anyhow. So.
yeah, I don't go to
They're not
doctors.
about curing, they're about treating, and treating is ongoing and forever. Curing will cure it, and they won't have any income.
Right.
I mean,
And
it's
it's
that
just
simple.
it's just a
Greed.
hard thing to go through as a patient, because you're going there, you think you're going to get some type of healing from a doctor, and then you just keep going through it, and they give you hope, and then it's taken away, you know what I mean? And you don't realize how much you give them of yourself every time you go in there, because you just feel so bad, you're so ill. So I just feel
Well,
bad for people like that, because it's
I've seen
hard.
these doctors. Well, a person will go to a doctor perfectly fine, and that doctor say, "I diagnose you with this,"
Right.
and that person will manifest that within them.
Exactly. Exactly.
It is
Exactly.
the power of suggestion. And I
Yes.
learned that a long time ago, and I can control things by, thinking, by
Right.
telling things what's going to happen. Does that make any sense?
It makes perfect sense, because everything is basically a manifestation. I mean, things just start with a thought. Everything that's created on this planet was a thought. I mean, it just, cars just didn't appear. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everything is a thought, right down to war, right down to all of it. So, I mean, that's
Oh,
why we lay down our arms, our tongue.
and thought is exactly what that playbook was about.
Mm.
They thought out something, and man, it's so crazy. And I got to say that before midnight, probably. I don't know, but I'm not saying it now. I'm waiting for Tails to get up here. But like you said, thought. And these people thought, I'm sorry, but that's the topic tonight, too, though.
Right.
But you
Right.
brought up a good point. They thought this out to trick the minds or the thoughts of others. See,
Right.
it's all about mind control.
Right.
And that's
Right.
what
And
we're fighting against
yes, and
everywhere.
yes, and we're not only fighting what we think is on the outside, we're ultimately fighting what's on the inside of us. And that is that duality, that Jesus speaks of, you know. And it's very clear when you read it, because I was led to read that, because I don't, like I've said before, I've never even read the words of Jesus Christ until about this year. Sometime I started
Yeah,
being led to the words, and it essentially taught me that the words were already written on me, because I
right,
could open up a book that I had no understanding of, and like understand what he was saying and more, you know, and I could tie it into
right,
more things. So it was like, oh, okay, I see what you're trying to show me. You know what I mean? So it's like a humbling experience, but I could see how somebody who's really looking for answers could go to the book and get frightened or not quite understand, because I didn't pick the
right,
book up until I knew I had eyes to see and ears to hear, and I was led to it, so I could see how it could be frightening for people waking up to truth and wanting to discover who they are, you know, because it's not something that we talk about enough with each other in our own experiences, so we would naturally go to a book, or you know what I mean,
right.
but at the same time, you really just have to have eyes to see and ears to hear to even understand it, because it's your perception, it's your understanding, through Jesus Christ, that you get the knowledge that you need, you know. So that's what I do with it, because I didn't want to be, I was already felt so misled, like I already seen so much stuff going on, and I was
Yeah,
just like and every time I did ever go to a church, it was just so apparent that nobody was happy where I had gone, and I
right.
was like, why are people so sad? You know, why can't they
They've,
feel
they've fallen
Jesus?
into a routine, is
Yeah,
why.
Yeah, and then I would try to speak to a pastor, and he would literally back away from me, put his head down, and walk away. And I'm like, I'm trying to talk to you, like, hello, you know. And it's like,
Really?
yeah, it's like, what's going on, like, like I just want to talk to you and see what this church is about, and it's like, if you can't even like talk to a person, then how are they supposed to believe what you're saying?
Right.
How are they supposed to understand that you have this understanding? So that's why I was like, no, I don't think
Well,
this is for me.
I'll give you an example that happened on an Easter uh, church service. It was a
Okay.
friend of mine, and she wanted somebody to go with her because she got invited by a friend of hers, right?
Right.
So we go there. And man, I'm gonna tell you what, that daggone preacher, it was like I could feel something in the air, right? And the way he was preaching everything, and then I didn't know they were gonna do this, but people go up there and he was gonna help heal them, right?
Right.
Was my friend was gonna have that rotator cuff surgery, and she hadn't had it yet, but it was scheduled, and I was like, look, go up there and see if because I got to be honest with you, when I was a child, and I'm jumping subject. I don't know what you call it when your bottom teeth go in front of your top teeth, but I had to go to
Oh.
an orthodontist, and they determined the only way to solve that problem was to cut a 1/4 inch out of each side of my jaw bones and put me in a halo and wire my mouth shut and all that stuff, right? I'm
Right.
like, I went home and I prayed, and 2 weeks later, I woke up with my back teeth behind my front teeth, and the orthodontist could not figure out how that was possible, but I did not have to go through that surgery. But anyhow, I
You have
believe
faith.
if you pray and believe it, it's going to happen.
Right.
So I told this girl, I was like, I got a feeling. I said, go up there and you might get a healed if the feeling I'm feeling is. So anyhow, she got up there, and he's like, what is your problem, my child? And she was like, well, I pulled some rotator cuff, blah blah blah. They want to put a screw in. You know what that pastor said?
What?
You better listen to your doctor. He did this in church. He
Oh.
told her, you better listen to your doctor and do what he advises. Right there, I was like, bam! I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This man's
Right.
up here, and she gets up there, and he's doubted. Right? I mean, you know what I'm saying? And that
Right.
right there showed me there's the wrong person leading this church right here. He's pushing that, well, I can heal you stuff,
Right.
and then did that.
Right.
I'm
Right.
like,
And
you
the
gotta be kidding me.
and the thing about having that ability is that comes from Jesus, and your faith, you know, because
Right.
I mean, you can be anywhere, and Jesus will use anyone to show you how well your faith works. And it's your faith. I mean, I was diagnosed with lupus years ago, and I'm always been the type of person to just pray for others and help others and just do that. I wasn't trying to be a martyr. I just didn't feel that I didn't feel that I don't know, I just wasn't that way.
Right.
I'm not that kind of person, and it's just my own choice the way I am. But one day I was like, got on my hands and knees because I'm a single mom. My whole life is really rough at the time, and I have to work and financially, and I'm really ill. And, one day I just was praying and I said, Father, I said, I know I'm part of this fight. I've been doing it my whole life. And, I have to be able to walk. I have to be able to
Yeah.
do this. And I really, I just know that you will heal me. And the next day I woke up, I was healed, and I went to my rheumatologist 2 weeks later, and she said there was no sign of lupus in my body anymore. And what did I do? And I said, do you want to know the truth, or do you want to know a lie? And she said the truth. She said the truth. I said, I prayed, I have faith. And she just wanted to like do genetic testing and weird stuff after that.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I said, thank you. I just wanted to hear it. I needed confirmation of something I already knew to be true. But I just, that's what I needed from her. And we parted ways great, and she understood because she had never seen it before. So, that's my understanding of it. It was like, I just got to the point where I was like, I believed, there was no other choice because I wasn't giving up and I was going to continue this fight, you know, and I didn't expect a healing. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I just went with it, and I was like, the Father did say, come. I'd rather you come to me with an eye missing or a hand,
Right. Right.
because that's you coming to me as you are. So I had already accepted as I was, but I had just gotten so down, with the pain and everything that I was going through, and on top of everything else, and living in a war zone, literally living in a sanctuary city that was just up in flames at the time, just murder and people murdered in my front yard, and just crazy stuff, right, all around me. And I just, I had to fall away from it all. I had to say no more, you know
Hmm.
enough's enough.
Well,
Like,
let me ask you something. If you don't mind, you don't have to answer, or you can.
sure.
And what is your blood type?
I'm not sure. I'm not really sure of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering because I got a bad habit of asking people that all the time. And, people look at me weird sometimes. But
Right. Right.
I
I
have
know.
come to find that a lot of people that I get along with and can see eye to eye, and, that's acquaintances that I meet that work at stores and stuff like that. They
Right.
are a negative. But a positive person doesn't see things the way I see them, and it's just weird. It's like a repelling feeling, you know what I mean? Instead of,
Right.
I don't know how I'm trying to say that.
So, are you saying
They're
like,
not my kind or something like that. So it's like
right.
our energies will not intertwine or intermingle or something. It's no connection or whatever. Never be.
Right. And
Does
I
that
mean,
make any sense?
yeah, I've had some thoughts on that before. And, again, this is all my perception. Everything I say is my perception. So,
Right, right.
always use discernment, and go to Jesus on your own for anything, everything. But I believe that, different blood types are for a reason. And it's, I think, because there's just this is a free will, right, place. So I just believe there's many different types of people here also. That's why our blood
Yeah.
types are different. But, I
Well,
haven't
Naga
really,
explained that earlier.
huh?
He was talking about the blood types.
Right, right. And I don't think and I don't want anyone to ever feel like you have to have a certain blood type, you know. I really don't. I don't believe that to be true because I just don't. I think there's a
Well,
lot of
this is like,
deception,
well, Earth is a game, see if you make it, call it
Right,
mousetrap, whatever, see if you can
right,
get out of that trap alive.
right, right,
So I guess anybody and everybody can come and try it out.
right. It's a free will, right? So we come
Yeah,
here and you automatically are making choices, you know, automatically. And
right.
you're not only making choices for yourself, your reality is affecting others. So, I always tell people that just remember, when you walk up to somebody and you have a bad day and you don't have any idea what they're going through, your bad day just turned into their bad day, and maybe theirs worse. Gosh,
Yeah.
you know what I
Look,
mean?
I had a boss one day. He was going through a divorce, right?
Right?
Early in the morning, I'm walking into work. He just pulled in. He was the owner of the company. I looked at him. I said, "Good morning, so and so," and he looked at me and said, "What's so good about it?" I just looked at him and walked on off. I was like, "Okay." And later on, within an hour, I was doing body work. He come back there and he was apologizing.
Right.
And I'm biting my tongue the whole time because this man always preached, don't bring your problems from home to work. And here is the man that doesn't want you bringing your problems to work. Ask me, why is it such a good day?
Right.
Or what's so good about it? I'm like, man, come on.
Right.
But I
And
kept
then
my mouth shut. And I don't normally. I've been working on my mouth. I'm bad about speaking my mind.
well,
People don't like the truth.
and I mean, how are people to truly understand you if you don't speak the truth? I mean,
Yeah.
if you can't, we just have to be honest with each other and ourselves. I mean, Jesus knows what you're thinking, so why bother to hide it? you know, if it
Well, it's
helps
not
you.
only what you're thinking, it's the intent of your heart.
Exactly.
But see,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, because like we're literally purging things out all the time, and that's just us reconciling with the things that we've seen and gone through, and it's all of it. So it's a perfectly natural thing to do. But I'm not condoning things by any means. I'm just talking from a personal experience and going within. There's
right.
days when you cuss up a storm, and there's days when you know what I mean? There's days when you eat too much or eat too much of this or that. Or there's just days when, you look at someone you love and you're just like, you know? and it's and it's not like, you know what I mean? But you work through it, right? You own it. You don't try to act
Right.
like you're something you're not, because that's not the way to self-discovery. How are you supposed to work things out if you're constantly trying to hide who you are?
Right. Right.
Because I don't hide who I am. I'm a person. I lived on this planet just like everyone else. you know
Well, y'all know me. I've been the same ever since I started going live. So, pretty much just a old hillbilly out here in the middle of the woods.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. You're out there writing on papers and
Oh man, that was crazy.
I loved it. I knew exactly what you were doing. I'm like,
that
yep.
was crazy, man. And hurry up and find a pen. And I'm sitting there repeating it over and over in my head. I'm like, don't forget this, Where's the pen? Where's the paper? Don't forget what I'm thinking, Because
Yeah.
more stuff was behind it. It was backing up. It was like
Yeah.
being on an assembly line, man. I was like, oh my goodness.
It's so true though. And then you have like 4 notebooks full, and then you're like, I'm done. I don't need to write any more down. you
Mm,
know and that's where you find the balance. Once you find that balance within yourself, all this information comes out a lot more smoothly, because you have to
yeah,
take care of yourself. You have to be good to yourself, and you also have to have the discernment to know what information you're getting is correct and isn't,
right. That's what I
because
do with these channels and stuff that I, watch on YouTube. I just
hmm
take what I need from it because I have an understanding of what's going on. And
right.
somebody might have a bit of information that kind of puts a little more onto what I was already
Right.
thinking that I was not, nobody made me think, you know what I'm saying? I'm here that's how I know this stuff is real. I'm out in the middle of nowhere by myself and have no outside influences. And I'm not following anybody and listening to their ways. I'm not opening up my brown eye and all. Third eye. I'm sorry.
John boy.
Hey, I just John Boogled it up, didn't I?
You John
I
Boogled it
just
up.
John Boogled it up.
Well, thank you for
Welcome
not
to the
opening
John Boogle family, the best call-in show on maybe the second best after Marf. But
You're
and let's
awesome.
don't forget about WSO. I like some
Right.
of his content,
Right.
but
I think I think the brothers out there that are trying really, with a good heart, good intent, I give them all the props, right? Because
Right.
we need to come together. But we don't need to act like we're something we're not, If you don't know how to
Right.
if you don't know how to meditate, that's okay. There's a way to learn
Right.
it. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
don't portray to be something you're not. That's all. Because people will
and
let sorry.
don't let people, don't make them believe what you're believing.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that, I'm not
Right.
just flat out saying you're wrong. You got
Right.
to learn from your own experiences, but do it in the privacy of your own, before you get out there and get others following you. And then next thing you know, you hit a dead end or a cliff, or, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. And there's a lot of
I'm getting
sisters.
riled up, ain't I? I'm sorry.
It's okay. There's a lot of sisters out there right now, who are embracing the truth too. And we would love to work with brothers on this, but it seems like a lot of brothers are holding ego still for their channels and for what they're doing, and they need to get to the crossroad and find what's right, because they have a lot of people who follow them, and they could help people
Right.
right, correctly.
Right. But you
So
know what they're doing? They're actually twisting things for their own, you know, greed, their own purpose.
right, that's where I'm talking of ego, right? Because
Hmm.
if they didn't have the ego, they would understand that they were blessed with the people who are listening to them, and these are people that need help, and are looking for guidance, and need to be told to go within, and to always use discernment, you know what I mean? And to
Right.
only use the channel as a way of understanding, you know? Because these people are making it seem like they have all the answers. And I'm telling you,
Right.
nobody on this planet does. I only know what
Well,
I
I do.
know. You know
No,
what I
I'm
mean?
joking.
Not even you, Mr. President.
When John Boy speaks, everybody listens.
You're so funny.
No, I'm just, but
Yeah.
I am thankful to be able to be here doing what I'm doing, and I'm really thankful for how everything is kind of played out, and it's not been by my design whatsoever.
Right.
It just happened, man. I don't know. And then there was a time limit on it, so I'm
You,
serious. This is the last night.
is it?
Yeah,
Why?
they're shutting down Hangout. We can't do this ever again. This is the last
Oh,
one ever.
really?
Yeah,
Let's say our piece, brothers and sisters. You know what I mean?
right,
Yeah, you could take us down in one way, what we pop up in another way.
right. And I'm fixing to let the playbook out of the bag, man.
Right?
I'm gonna tell on it.
Who's getting evicted? Not us.
That's right.
You know what I mean? You can even ask my last landlord. No, just play it.
You sovereigned it? No, I'm joking.
No, actually, my
Yeah.
my last landlord was a blessing. The man was wonderful. I had got, like I was telling you, I was really ill and stuff, and it just got
Mm-hmm.
to the point where I was like, you're just gonna have to kick my ass out, because I got this little girl, and I don't know, I'm doing the best I can, And he knew I was. He knew how hard I worked and what it was going through. And he comes to me one day, John, and he says, Emily, just like out of the blue, he says, you don't have to pay me rent no more. He
Really?
goes, yes, yes. And I knew I was already leaving, because Jesus had called me to leave by September 1st and go. And I knew I was going to
Right.
go. I just didn't know how I was going to go. I just had faith that I was going. And I stayed there rent free till I left, and got the money, and, did what I've been doing ever since. But you know what I mean? Like, I was like, are you kidding me? This is wonderful. Like, this man just literally gave up money that he could have been feeding his own family with, to do the right
Right.
thing. And it wasn't that I begged him or I didn't do anything. He just knew. He knew who I was,
Right.
because like he was out in another country in Russia one time, and he had forgot to pay the taxes on the house, and they were going to seize the house. And I went down there with all the money I had, and I paid it, and he was really
Yeah.
grateful for that. So, you know what I mean? It was like a give and take. We were good to each other. So, I don't know. I think there are still a lot of wonderful people out there like that.
But they're hidden. It's hard, there are.
Yep. I know.
It's
a
just,
hard
it's kind of like, I don't know. It's like if they try to make a presence known, they get covered up somehow. Something happens. They get
Right.
pushed back.
Right. But I mean, because everything here is like opposite,
Right.
like you got to turn yourself right side up, it's like, it's just turning yourself the right side up. I don't know any other way to say it sometimes, it's just like you're just a little confused, and you just need to wake up and, just forgive yourself and forgive others. And, you'll feel that love of Jesus come through you. Not the idea of the love or what you've been told, you know what I mean? Or what people tell you. My experience, your own experience, because until you have that, right? Everything I say sounds, like achievable, but you have to know you can achieve it yourself. You know what I mean? So it's like, because I'm nobody special. I'm just somebody who volunteered to come here and volunteered to do this call, I'm doing what all of you would do if you were me, So.
Well, I promise you, somebody pushed me. I did not volunteer for this. I'm being honest.
And that's okay.
I mean, I'm getting through it, dadgummit, but it's like, when you're on top of the bridge and everybody's jumping off and you're like, I don't know, and then your buddy shoves you.
Yep.
That's what they did to me, and here I am, dadgummit. Spreading joy and happiness, dadgummit. No.
It's okay. You'll get through it.
I hope so. I really do.
You will, brother. You have faith, right? Don't lose faith ever.
Oh yeah, I have faith. That's the only thing that keeps me going.
Right.
But my problem is, I bet I'll be the oldest living human ever in history.
Well, you better just put your big boy pants on and get ready.
Well, that's
hopefully they're Levi's, because I hear they hold up good.
No, they don't. Let me tell you. In that, hey, look, I had on, the first time I ever wore them, Levi pants, when I hit that deer on that motorcycle. Right. And the only thing left of the pants was where my belt was around my waist and the white pocket liners. That was it. It turned them into shorts. Did not put a hole in my boxers. I mean, they weren't even shorts. Yeah, it was messed up. The only thing left of my t-shirt was that collar around my neck. That was it.
Sorry.
I'm
Here
serious.
You go again,
it's all right. It's the
we...
truth. I got hurt really bad, and I'm still hurting to this day. So
I'm sorry, brother.
I love your laughter about that. No, I'm joking.
Remember,
just don't bother me.
Remember, we talked about this earlier, how we both, we try to tell our stories, and people just find the way we say it or who we are, it's just funny to them.
Right.
And we're like, no, we're being serious.
Look, honestly, the old back roads where they put the tar down and then the white rocks?
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the old back roads.
Yes,
That's what I wiped out on. And look, I tumbled 189 feet down that kind of road wearing nothing but blue jeans and a t-shirt.
Oh.
I didn't have any leather on other than my Timberland boots, and they got shredded off too.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
You are a miracle.
I went to that place of love for 3 seconds during that time. I'm telling you, it was a great place to be. And I'd like to go back, but I don't
Oh.
want to have to go through that. I don't want to leave. If I go back, I'm not leaving.
You're
I'm
like, I
serious.
refuse. You're gonna be standing
Oh, I'm
there
not
like,
gonna. I don't guess I was ready because, it was like I was up there about 3 seconds and I was like, I'm thinking, I was in the middle of a wreck, but this place is pretty cool. And I thought, my first thought was, this ain't so bad. And it was like whoever was cradling me dropped me. And next thing I know, I'm bouncing down the road and all sorts of crazy stuff.
so you got a little
Yeah.
preview.
Yeah, but it was like I must not have been ready when I thought,
Right.
since I was there in that place of love. And I go, well, that ain't bad. There I was back down here. I was right in the middle of flipping and cartwheeling and everything.
Oh,
It broke
yeah.
my Lexan face shield. It pulled all the daggum vents out of the. At least it was full face.
Right.
My
That's crazy.
helmet went face first into that pavement, and I got to see what my kneecap looked like.
Oh,
And and my wrist, my hand on my left arm, it didn't mess up the skin or anything, right? But my hand wasn't connected to my arm bones. It was hanging inside the skin. It was weird.
oh, oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Oh, that just sounds painful.
Oh, it was. And check
Gosh.
this out. I don't know how many cc's a unit is,
Right?
but they gave me 4 units of morphine on the way to the hospital, and it did not ease any pain. It did not make me forget anything. I mean, and we're talking about medical
Wow.
grade morphine. And then they
Right.
gave me 2 more units of morphine at the hospital, and it didn't do anything.
Oh gosh.
And they had to put radioactive dye on me to see if I had internal bleeding. And man, that was weird. That stuff warmed up my whole body.
I know it feels good, huh?
I don't know. It's kind of weird because it's radioactive, and they're like, don't
Oh
worry,
yeah.
you'll excrete it out of your body. I'm like, what? They're like, you'll pee it out. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, but
I don't know. When they did it to me, I was like, oh, I kind of like this. It feels nice and
oh, and
warm. I was cold,
this is what
so.
what is that? Was it an MRI or was that a CAT scan? It was CAT scan, wasn't it, when they do that?
The CAT scan. Yeah, it's when they put the dye in, I believe. Or is it the
But they sat
MRI?
there. They said, be real still. And I said, well, can I take a nap? They laughed and they're like, sure. I go, all right. So I
Right.
just took a nap while they were doing it. And then when they started moving the table, it woke me up. And I was like, are we
Right.
done? They're like, yeah, you were real still. I was like, that's because I was sleeping. I mean,
Hey, I wanted to
here I
ask
am
you.
in the middle of
Oops.
almost dying. And oh, yeah, I had an ex girlfriend show up. This is the weirdest thing. Now, check this out. This happened on the first day of summer, the summer solstice at 9 o'clock at night. I don't know if these numbers add up, but it's like June the 21st,
Right.
2003. It happened at 9 o'clock at night, and I was on a back road, and I was a quarter mile from my dad's house, and I was like, man, what am I gonna do? So I started saying, I mean, what are you gonna do? So I started hollering, somebody help me. I mean, what do you yell? You're out in the middle of
Right.
nowhere. You're stuck in a ditch with your motorcycle beside you. You don't flip,
Right.
and this
That's
lady come up and she had these dogs and she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, call my dad, tell him to get his trailer and come down here. I wrecked my bike. I need him to help me get it in the trailer and get it back to the house.
right.
And she did, and she called an ambulance. I'm like, I didn't want an ambulance. I wanted my dad with the trailer so we could get my bike back to the house.
You're so stubborn, huh?
Yeah. And then the ambulance gets there, and they're like putting neck braces and stuff on me. Don't move them, and putting me on that hard plank board. They're like, I got a broken neck and internal injuries and all this stuff.
Right.
And anyhow, I guess what I was going to get to, the lady that found me was my ex-girlfriend's daughter's boyfriend's mom,
Wow.
if that makes any sense. And guess
Yeah.
what her name was? Her
What?
real name was Angel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Is that
sweet.
not crazy? But
It's
then
just
I guess she got a hold of my ex, and my ex showed up outside the ambulance. You know, they had me inside there, and I heard
right.
her out there. Is Johnny all right, Johnny? And I hollered out the back of the doors, and I said, "Is that you, Barbara?" And she goes, "Yes, yes, it is. What can I do?" And I said, "Go home,"
Oh,
because
oh
she
my
was my
gosh.
ex. I didn't want my ex up there.
Oh
But she
no.
wound up, she went to the hospital and everything, and I thanked her and everything afterwards. But,
Right. Right.
I, but I learned a lesson. I mean, that was a changing point in my life.
Right.
But it was great. And
That's
then
crazy.
they had a gang war outside. This is at the Med in Memphis. They had a gang war out there. Well, what happened? My dad and stepmom were out at the emergency door exit smoking. And this car pulls up, and these people yank this guy out of the back of it, this gunshot.
Right.
And they're dragging him into the emergency room as this other car pulls up. And they're pulling a dude out of the back that's gunshot. And it turns out they were rival gangs. So they started fighting right there in the emergency parking lot. You know, the
Uh,
doors right there. And they
right.
shut down the hospital. I mean, it was crazy that night, man.
Wow. Wow. It just sounds like so much was going on.
Yeah,
Like,
and that was back in 2000.
so
I'm
did you,
still
can
here.
I ask you a question about
My
this
hot
whole
spot.
Hangouts
Sure.
thing? Because I didn't know what was going on. So they're shutting down Hangouts. Is there another platform to talk on or no?
That's what we're trying to figure out. There's other
Okay.
ones, but they look like you have to support them with OBS to do like a group like this. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I've seen people do this on Skype.
yeah, I was gonna say, my daughters and I and other people, we use Skype a lot too. But can't, okay, so if you just have a laptop, right, you can go live from your channel, right?
Right.
So, okay,
That's what I do on.
yeah, I didn't know that. So I'm gonna well, what I'm doing right now, I'm in the process of, I'm writing my book and stuff. So I'm gonna go at the end of this month. I'm gonna go retreat for a while because I need to. But then I think I'm gonna change my channel after this month and start just doing lives off my computer.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? Would that,
It
do you think
sounds
that
fine, man.
that'd be good?
That way you can interact live with who's in chat.
Right, right. Because I
You
think
know, you
like,
could do like,
right, exactly. And I want to be able to like bring people on, like you're doing through Hangouts, but I don't know how to do that part. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But
well, they
that's
got, I think it's StreamYards. I think, but it only do like 4 people.
right.
But it's set up to go on the YouTube platform.
Well, hey, whatever way I have to do it, I want to do it because, I think I just want to be going towards more of like, sharing my life experience, of how
Right.
that's kind of what I'm gonna do my channel, and I do a lot of stuff outdoors and stuff. So I just think I'm going to come as I am, and say my experience now because everyone has a story and we've all learned one way or another how we're getting here. And I just want to share that. So that's what I was thinking.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about
Well, I
doing.
mean, you got to be you. I have been me. I haven't. I mean, I did. Yeah, come on as John Boy. John Boy was actually the mask guy. You know what I mean? I was trying to promote a character for my motorized bicycles.
Right.
That's
Right.
how
So,
this all came about. I was trying to get a motorized bicycle channel up, and it did all right, but it wasn't going anywhere. And not that
right.
never really been about the number. But then I got closer to where I could get 100 live stream, and somehow I did. But I never did really need 100 to live stream because I had these apps that would let me. But they came in and took those off my phone one night while I was sleeping.
You're so
I'm dead
funny.
serious, Emily.
I,
You're
I,
laughing. It's
I,
true. It's another true story.
I
Look,
know it's just
I
the way you
woke
say
up,
it.
my screensaver, hey, my screensaver wasn't the same screensaver. All my
Right.
mobile live streaming apps are gone. My recording apps, I had all sorts of different apps. Everything was gone. It's like somebody came in and re-defaulted it or something.
That's so creepy.
Yeah, I went to bed with it the way I had it set up, and I woke up. I can't stream off my mobile phone now.
Wow.
They took everything.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
just, you know what though? So we can do it that way, right? So when I start going live, can I have you jump in and can we do it that way? Like, you know what I mean?
Sure, if we
Like kind of
figure out
try,
how to do it.
yeah, and just like try to connect or, connect that way. So people feel like there's always a place to go, or like set up a Skype
Right.
situation or something, because I mean, I don't understand. Why did they get rid of Hangouts? I don't even know why.
Because it's all to do with the playbook in a way, kind of, because they want to keep what it is. Well, Richie from Boston put out a video today, and these guys in Germany are suing YouTube for billions of dollars for violating people's rights and stuff. And what it is, YouTube's trying to get rid of the smaller channels, and you're trying to promote the YouTube channels that are backed by the big broadcast companies and stuff, like, ABC and stuff like that.
Oh, so
The
they're
more
trying.
mainstream stuff. And they're trying to push the commercialized YouTube channels out there and get rid of us small channels,
Oh, so
I guess.
basically, mainstream media is trying to come into YouTube because they realize a lot more people are coming to YouTube for their news.
Right, and
Is that
they
what you're
can
saying?
individualize channels where they can tune in better on groups of people.
Right.
The TV will generally get most people, but if you can set up different groups of YouTube channels where everybody can get the same medicine from, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Programming, however,
Right.
subliminal, or however they're doing it. But
Right.
it's all about controlling the mass of people and their way of thinking, just like that playbook that
Right.
wasn't what they said it was.
Right.
You know
Well,
how,
I guess
all right,
what do we do, right?
what?
As people, what do we do? Do we play into this playbook or do we make our own book? I'm writing my
Oh,
own book myself. You know what I mean?
th-
Like,
this is what we do right now. We can sit there and say what that playbook was about,
right.
because look, John X. Army had an interview with WSO, and John X admitted that he'd become a puppet for the deep state. You remember him saying that?
Right.
Did anybody see that video?
No,
Well,
I was
they,
gonna go back and look at some of it actually. But I know what you're saying. I have some.
I'm scared to try to do anything. Well, my computer, I'd try to pull it up, but man, I'm scared too because everything's working right now. And when I try to do extra movement, it won't.
Don't do it.
But he admitted to being, he realized he was a puppet for the deep state, and he was putting fear out there, and he was making people change their ways and do things. He goes, I'm not that way. I opened up my my third eye, and, that Joker. But anyhow, in reality, if the deep state had a playbook out there, all right, how am I trying to say this? Would you admit that the deep state was using you as a puppet when everybody's claiming a playbook's out there from the deep state and the
Well,
big channels are having to use it? You know what
right.
I'm saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, just from what you just said, that this um, man had said, it sounds like he's literally telling you who he is. You know what I mean? He's telling you he's a fraud because he's telling you what he already knows to be true about himself. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he's telling on himself, but he's trying to say he's not that person at the same time. He's talking out of both sides
But
of his mouth.
why
Literally.
does he feel so safe to say that? You see, that's where I'm leading to.
Because
Why
it's
does he feel safe enough to come out
well,
and say that?
because it's his ego, because of the people he works with, you know, because he's gotten some kind of inclination that whatever he's doing, he's safe to do, you know.
So
He thinks he's
he's
untouched.
not worried about the deep
No,
state government coming after him for saying that,
no,
right?
no. Give me
All
a
right.
break. Give me a
Well, check
break.
this out.
Yeah, I don't think
What
he
if the
is.
assurance the deep state is not going to come after him because he said what he said?
Right.
Because the playbook was never written by the deep state. It was actually written by the big channels and
Yes,
acted like it was from the deep
exactly.
state. That is
Exactly.
exactly what is going on. And these
Exactly.
channels are scrambling now. That is what it is, man. These big
Exactly.
channels have sat there and come up with the playbook and they played it out, but the deep state has got this in there. So us little channels are sitting there freaking out because the deep state and the playbook, the big channels are, yeah, the big channels are manipulating, but it's for
Right.
their own benefit. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Whatever.
now they're changing their narratives because they've listened to this little small channel talking to real people, and they are on the same topic and everything. They're stealing ideas and everything from the small channels, and that's what this guy's suing YouTube's about
Right.
because they're trying to get the big branded channels in and get rid of all of us.
Right. Right.
You know, and
Yeah,
I
that
like
makes
Richie from Boston, so I'm not knocking Richie from Boston in any way because,
right.
all right, you know how like us truthers are labeled conspiracy theorists?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We are conspiracy theorists, right?
Right.
Well, Richie from Boston is just one of us, except for he got labeled big channel. When you hear big channel, you think corruption and stuff.
Right.
Where's Richie ever done kind of corruption? I mean, he's only been straightforward. He's an ass of a laptop. I'm a hillbilly of a desktop. I mean,
Right.
there's a big difference, but there's not much. He's just got a lot of followers, but he's real. He's not
Right.
misleading. He's telling his thoughts and ideas, but he got labeled big channel. So therefore he got thrown in there with the John X and the WSO and Marfoogle and all of them.
Right. Right.
It's not his fault. So I'd like to exclude him if I can. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But these others, man, they just kind of they're using everything for their own benefit, twisting
Well,
things around and trying to.
well, you know what, John? This is what I say to the other channels, to the big channels, because they won't ever talk to me because of the ego thing. But I say, you know, if you want to learn how to meditate, if you want to learn how to go within, if you want to learn how to let go of your ego and embrace unconditional love and forgiveness for yourself and others, come talk to me because I'm a real person and I really do care about you. And I don't talk shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm real. Like, I know who I stand for. And if you want to learn that, then yeah, embrace the little channels, embrace the people who are walking with Jesus, because that's what you claim to be, you know? So
Right,
we know you by your fruits just as you know us, you know? And you want to copy, but you can't copy the Most High. You just can't. Because anybody
right,
seeking the truth will know the truth. You know what I mean? Because I don't care if I have one subscriber. I don't care. That's not what I'm about. I do my work every day on the ground. That's where I work. You know, I look at the people. I talk to the people, you know. I'm not trying to make no money. I've had people offer me donations and I don't take them. Why? Not because I'm a martyr, because I have everything I need. And if the Father compels me to take it, I will. But I don't, you know what I mean?
exactly.
I don't want nothing from
Mm.
nobody. And that's the difference, you know. What I have,
Oh,
I'm willing to give it out there. But you know what? You have to let go of your ego before you can even hear me. So that's how that goes.
well, that's
So,
like last week we had a mom and daughter that had a blowout, and they stopped. Well, one last week, I guess it was 3 weeks ago. I can't remember, but anyhow, and they're like, "Do y'all, can we use your air hose? The tire's flat." So me and this other dude go out there, and they gum, it's not taking air.
right.
So we got a jack, went out there and jacked it up, and anyhow, a piece of metal went through the sidewall on the inside. So we sat there and asked if they had a spare and popped the trunk. And, you know, he's up there taking the tire loose, and I'm getting the tire out of the back. Well, I would change the tire for him. The girl went to hand me a 10. I'm like, no, I'll keep that. And then I let the jack down, and then she went to offer it to the other guy, but I was walking off.
Right.
And anyhow, they left and all. And I said, man, you didn't take that 10, did you? He goes, no. I told them just tell everybody who helped them out, you know, this body shop right here.
Right. Right.
But
And
he's a good guy. I knew he didn't take the 10, you know what I mean? But I just was wondering what he said to him.
Right. But you know, I mean,
And that's what he said.
Right. I think it's great to like just do things for each other without expecting anything, you know, because like it's really hard.
Right.
Like, you know,
Well, that's
somebody will,
what.
right. Somebody will give you something, right, and they'll say, "I have no expectation. You can just have it," and then like a week later, they're complaining to someone else about what they gave you. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't like doing that. I don't like it when people have done that to me, you know, because that's hurtful and mean, and it makes that other person feel shameful and less than, and they already felt bad because they had to ask you for help to begin with, you know. So I mean, I just try to say, you know, don't ever have expectation with anything that you're offering, because you know that's not right, because if you shouldn't give it if you're going to give it that way, because you know people are struggling right now and they have a hard time with just everything. So it's nice when someone will just come up to you and be like, "Hi, how are you?" you know, and you know, all those things. And what I'm noticing is people see my light now, so you know that's a little shocking for a lot of people too, but a lot of people are receptive to it too. So you know, people know you just by who you are. Like they know when you're saying hello to them and when you're just saying it to just say it, you know. And I just try to remember, like maybe that person just heard a voice for the first time in a long time, you know. And I've had a lot of people who say that, like I've talked to people or counseled people, and they're like, you know, you're the first person to tell me that you love me in so long. You know, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Like, I'm glad that I was able to tell you I love you, but just sad that, you know, people aren't really saying that and meaning it. You know, we should say that and mean it more.
Well, you know, I do that to my neighbor down the road. He's a good old guy, and I told him I love him like a brother, man. He's like family.
Oh.
I do that, but you know, I gotta mean it. That's the whole thing. I have to mean what I say, or I can't say it. I can't fake it.
Right, and you shouldn't. And you shouldn't. You know what I mean? I'm not saying to ever fake that, because that's wrong. I'm just saying, you know, when you do say it, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people have used the word love so much, you know, that they don't even, it doesn't really mean nothing, you know? So it's, I don't know. Like when I tell people I love them, I really do. You know, I really mean
Well,
it.
I mean, you look at these cell phone commercials they have. It's like the phone you really love. You know, they've wore the word love out so bad.
Right.
It should be replaced with either envy, desire, you know, all those other words, but not love. Love is a totally different meaning.
Exactly.
But they've associated it with pleasure. See?
Exactly.
They've confused people. The meaning of love, pleasure. You love something, you pleasure in it. No, love is a definition of people, is a connection between people.
Right.
I don't know. I just.
You know, you're right. You're right. Preach it, brother. You're saying it from your heart.
I'm not really a public speaker.
You're really good at it, John Boy. You really are good at it, you know. And I think
not really.
I think yes you are. Stop being negative.
I'm not. I'm being positively sure I'm not.
Well, I understand you.
It's not negative. I'm being honest.
No, I think you're good at this.
I know what you mean, but I'm not looking for glory or anything like that. So compliments are hard for me to come by. I don't like accepting gifts and money. Accepting compliments is hard also.
Well, you just got one, whether you like it or not.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, I know though, it's okay to, be told that you're worthy and you're a beautiful person, And I think we just so many times people have said that to us in our life, and we got so used to hearing that and then being shown something different, in the same respect. So when we hear someone speak of beauty and love and, harmony and things like that, the words have just become words, and we need to give love the power back that it deserves, right?
Exactly.
And yes, you know what I mean? Let's empower that word of love again. When people use it wrongly, tell them, no, that word isn't used like that. This is what love means,
That's almost like telling them what chemtrail is. These people will not understand stuff nowadays. You cannot. I mean, if you try to tell them what love is, they're not going to understand it.
Right. And that's why, we just show love, right? We walk love. We are love, and people are receiving it. So, just don't ever give up on that idea either, because I know it seems really bleak out there sometimes. And, it's sometimes you're just like, what? Why am I here? Because I'm smiling and laughing.
I ask that every day.
Yeah, right. But there's a reason, because even this old hillbilly up in the mountains, right, where you're at, your light is shining, and believe it or not, your light is shining for somebody.
Yeah.
Yes. And just remember that, because every light on this planet right now that has unconditional love running through it is necessary. So you are making a difference. We all are, because we're saying things now that, aren't being said anymore. So we're putting the love back into this place the best we can, because manifestation.
One heartbeat at a time.
Right? Yes. Exactly. Exactly. And I just stay in that truth, just as much as this place has been manifested in the playbooks and the wars and the, awful things that go on here. Well, it's time to put something back into it that doesn't, that isn't the same. And that's why I say, that's why our light is important, and people do need to see it, because it's a reminder of who they are. Even if they don't quite understand what I'm saying, they understand what they see, and that's what's evident to me.
Well, even in the Bible, there's a parable that says, do not put your lamp under a basket, right?
Right.
I mean, what good is a light under a basket if you're not lighting up the room? And that's what they're saying. If you have the light in you, shine it upon everyone. That's
yes.
basically all that means.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank you. See, you taught me something.
I didn't know I had that in me. No, I'm joking.
No, that was wonderful. That's exactly how I feel. I feel like, I was like, no, I don't think I was doing it meaning to do it, but I almost thought, if people actually see my light, like a lot of people, what then? I almost felt like, do I need to hide? And then I'm like, what is wrong with me? You know what I mean? Like most people just are just like, whatever, you know what I mean? And then there's those people who just like,
go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say, there's just those people who are really reacting to it, and the people with just so much negative energy in them, they just want to run from me. So
that's what I was gonna say. We repel a lot of people.
I'm better than the DEET.
I wish they could make some mosquito repellent out of it, dadgummit.
I know, right? I've been bit
I
so
got
much.
some down here. But
See?
yeah, you're right though. They can see it, and some people. This is what I guess I experienced. Some people see it in you, and it's a challenge to mess with you or something. You know what I mean? Some
Right.
people want to acknowledge it and find out more knowledge or
Exactly.
whatever. You know, it's just it affects different people different ways.
Right. And that's exactly what I experienced when I went to the other state this last few days ago and, was talking to some young people. And that's exactly what happened. Like, two of them were like crying in joy, because of the
Yeah,
understanding they were receiving. And then one of them was just like irate, and, you know,
yeah,
and, and I'm like, but it was the experience they all needed, like, because what I realized
right,
is like a lot of these younger people, their life experience has been so short here that when they see like light or they have understanding that they're getting, that they wake up really fast. You know what I mean? Like
really,
they're waking
yeah.
up really fast because they already know
So they
that.
catch up to us, is what you're saying, really
Yes,
fast.
yes, and this is the understanding. The reason why is, and I had a talk with him, about this afterwards. I said, "Do you think maybe, just maybe, because see, all you got to understand, all these kids that are in their teenagers and young 20s and stuff, they've been totally inundated with AI. Like they see what's happening.
Right,
They are, I mean, the things they talk about, I mean, you're just like, wow, and so, yes, they are very in touch with what has happened to this planet. Like, a lot of people don't give them credit, but they know, they really do. A lot of them have known because I work with a lot of teenagers and people in their 20s, all ages really. But that I've been doing a lot of work with them for over like the last 2 years, and I mean, they are receptive to learning about Jesus, and because they see like they're all like, we can't even afford to live. How did you guys do it?
oh yeah,
And like just
yeah.
all the AI and a lot of them are walking away from AI. A lot of them are walking away from Wi-Fi because they said the way it makes them feel, the frequencies. I mean, like they're really in touch with a lot more than maybe some might understand because we think a lot about the younger people and we already think like give up on them, you know what I mean? Like you might
Well,
as
the
well give up
problem
on
is
that.
they don't remember the skies that we remember. I mean, we are seeing physical changes that they grew up in,
Right.
and they don't see it as normal to them. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right. And can
or
can we
is it
just we need to have compassion for them, I mean, think they've never seen like normal skies and normal
a
four
yellow
seasons.
sun?
Yeah, four seasons, you know what I mean? That weren't like one
Yeah,
of them was burning you up and one of them was freezing you. I mean,
yeah,
these children right now are enduring so much, and that's why for me it's very important that we pray for them. We pray for them to have, joy and understanding and forgiveness, because I would be terrified if I was a child and I understood what was going on, you know
yeah.
I would, because we were the hope that they had, we and then they got crushed and now they're trying to figure out their own identity and where they're going, and they're in the great awakening on top of it all. So, you know.
Mm. So that's why they're so messed up.
Well,
If they
yeah,
can't figure it out, it
because
really keeps them in that.
right.
How everybody sees them now.
Right. And I mean, this is my perception, from working with, because I've been working with young people all over the country, actually, just all over the West. I have a few that I'm working with now, some out here in the East Coast, like 4 different ones over here, and it's just like they're not, they have a lot to teach, they have a lot to say. We thought we were
Yeah.
suppressed. Can you imagine how suppressed they've been? You know? And
Do
so
they realize it?
oh
You
yeah. Oh
know what I
yeah.
mean?
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Oh yeah, a lot of them do. A lot of them do. I'm telling you, there's a big movement going on, and I'm privileged to be a part of it with the younger people. And I have a 19-year-old who's part of this journey too. And I mean, she's really just been she's brought home when we were living together. She's on her own, but she would bring home kids all the time, sit them down, and say, "You want to hear about Jesus?" So I mean, my
Yeah.
daughter's been doing this with me. One time she had a friend come over to the house, and they started saying bad stuff about Jesus, and I thought I was going to come out of my room, get my house in order. But no, I walk out there, and my daughter's looking at her, and she goes, "This house has Jesus in it, and if you don't like it, you can walk out the front door and never come back." And I was like, "Oh, I'm a proud mama," you know? So, yeah, my daughter's part of this also. I mean, she's out there spreading love and helping and doing the best she can too. So, I don't know. I just say let's pray for everyone, right? Let's just say we're all the same, you know, no matter what age. And
Right.
unite in love, right? And compassion for these children and these young people and people in general. But we've divided ourselves so much as people. We forgot that these young people, we used to be them. you know we used to be young like them and have
I've
dreams and stuff.
I've never been like anybody
Okay, John.
else.
You-
I'm serious. I
I
never followed anybody, but I also never led anybody.
Right.
You know what I
I
mean? I don't want to lead anybody the wrong way.
Right. Right. But I mean, John, it's coming from a place of love, right? So how can that be wrong?
Right.
If you're telling a young person, hey, just love yourself, and I'm sorry that whatever I contributed to your misery because of the way this planet is, but I want to learn how to be better with you, you know? And when you talk to these young
Right.
people like that, they respect it because they're just being told they're wrong. And but they see what everyone else is doing, and they're like, "Are you kidding me? What are we supposed to do?" So
Yeah.
I've just had a lot of conversations with them, and I really just try to put myself in a place of understanding and no judgment with them because I could only imagine. I just can't even imagine. It was crazy when I was younger growing up, and the times weren't even what they are now. So I just try to have compassion for them. Because
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, don't you think it would be scary, you know? you
I don't
know,
know, man. They just stick their head in a video game and forget it ever happened.
right. And I'm not saying that's not happening either, but there's like, just like we have got, like a lot of us as adults have come away from TV and propaganda and those things. So are they.
uh,
You know what I mean? So, I mean, each individual age has its own thing that's going on too, I believe.
what
Like
is the parents' age of these children?
we're the
Or young
parents.
adults, I should say. Yeah, I mean,
Well,
what age group? You're saying they're in their 20s. What would be their
20s and
parents' 40s?
17. Yeah, probably 40s or 50s maybe. I mean, it all depends. People are having children at so many different ages, so it could be.
Could it be that that age group of the parents are in the age group of keeping the information alive long enough for the children to maybe grasp it, and when they come to a realization, they can use it?
Okay, well, you kind of mumbled out there, but I think I know what you're saying. Did you say that? Oh, never mind. Say it again. Sorry.
If I can.
It's okay. You got to
Do
go.
you think that the parents, being like my age category and being like who I am and know the truth, have kept the story alive long enough for this younger generation
Ah,
that do wake up to use that information to their advantage? You know what I mean?
yes. Yes. And I think,
Okay.
yes, I most definitely do. And that's why it's really important that if you do run across a teenager or somebody and you do get that opportunity to talk to them, that you do. Because, just like our grandparents and our ancestors taught us stories in different ways that were peaceful,
Right.
we can do the same. We have that opportunity, and that's what I do with them, because I love them. I want them to feel safe. I want them to feel like, they're worthy, like they didn't do anything wrong. They maybe did things within themselves that are wrong as they get older, but they didn't create this mess.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I want them to know that, like, because a lot of them feel responsible because their parents turned into drug addicts, or, they were in poverty their whole life, or they were in a house with a lot of money and a lot of, beast system things going on, or whatever it may be, right? So
Right.
all these kids have different journeys too that they've lived on, but I know more than anything, I've seen a lot of poverty and a lot of drugs and a lot of broken homes, you know, and
Right.
it's
I do.
yeah, so it's sad to say the least, but I mean, when you can give them a little hope, that's all they need, because they're young, they have that energy in them, they still dream and they still want things. So this is the time for us as older people, the older generation ahead of them, that to, encourage them to love and work in unity and stuff. And that's what I try to do with them. And they're very receptive. A lot of them are talking about building a community, because that's something that I'm going to be doing in the next year, if it's the Father's will and there's time to do that. But that's a lot of the things that I'm trying to do right now, which is get together with other people, and we're looking at land like 30 acres right now. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? We're just starting off any way we can, and we're just going to build it within ourselves. And if people decide to join, they join. If they don't, they don't.
Once you build it, they will come.
Right? Right? And it may be, I don't know. I mean, it's there for the simple purpose of, like, if just people need to come somewhere and to learn something or whatever it may be, because it's also like a holistic type of situation, where we have like a herbalist, any people who can actually
Right.
teach people how to do the things like you were talking about earlier, like the leaves you can eat. You know what I
Right.
mean? Understanding that part. I think that's great. I love that too, by the way. I was like, thank you, John Boy.
Well,
Yeah.
I've been trying to learn and study this stuff for years, because you never know when you might just all of a sudden find yourself having to live in the wilderness. You know what I mean?
Right.
You never
Exactly.
know. And it's good
Exactly.
to know what you can and can't eat.
Exactly. And yes, like I always thought, if I was in that situation for a long time, I was always thinking, like, maybe I would just eat what the animals are eating, like the deer and stuff, because they're always eating
Right.
leaves and stuff. So I was like, I guess I will
Well,
just eat what they're eating, you know?
no, don't eat. Look, did you realize a deer can digest poison ivy? So
But
don't be eating poison
no.
ivy.
Wait, I know what poison ivy looks like, because my
Okay.
partner,
But I was
he
going to say a deer can eat poison ivy and it does not affect it.
That's funny, because my partner, he was at work, because he's a chemist, and he's in the marijuana industry right now, but he was outside on the
Right.
farm,
Yeah.
and he's covered in poison ivy.
Oh, I hate poison ivy.
I
This is what's weird. I was never allergic to it when I was growing up, right? So we decided to make this clubhouse or a tree house. And there's this poison ivy vine. I mean, it was big around than the big end of the baseball bat. And it had leaves on it that were bigger than notebook paper. You know what I mean? And I just
oh.
parted the leaves back and sat there and nailed all these steps up. And I sat there and got up there and I built the tree house and everything. No
Oh.
poison ivy, right? Well, the next summer, I looked at poison ivy and got it. I could look at it and get poison ivy. But the year before, I was in it. I mean, it was in my face and on my arms, you know.
Yeah. Yeah,
But I've been allergic to it ever since.
that's so crazy because he was like, he's one of those people, like if we go hiking or something, he's like,
Yeah.
he's looking for the poison ivy. He's like, it's not getting me
He
today. You know
found
what I
it.
mean?
He found it, definitely, didn't
Yeah,
he?
he did. He's
Calamine lotion, that's the best for it.
Well, I told him you should keep the alcohol in your car because you're just one of those people. He's like, yeah, I get poison ivy all the time. I'm like, why?
You know where I'll get it? It gets in between my fingers and in between my toes.
Oh no! Oh,
Yeah.
that's not good.
Uh-uh.
Yeah,
But
he's just funny.
calamine lotion will dry that stuff up. It's kind of pink, but you put it on there and it dries that oil inside there. You keep putting it on there and it'll get rid of it quicker than
Yeah,
anything I've
but John, he's like
dealt with.
he's one of those guys, right? Who he's like, I don't need it. I don't need any calamine lotion. I'm not itching. Meanwhile, look down at his ankles and they look like he's got like chunks taken out of them.
Yeah, that's
But
how I look.
I said, "Oh, you're not itching, are you?"
And chiggers, oh man, chiggers are worse than poison ivy. I
Yeah,
think.
he was talking about chiggers too. That's funny.
Mm.
But you
And
know what
look,
I
I'll
mean?
stretch in my sleep and wake up, and I'm like talking about meat missing. Their skin meeting and dug in too. My toenails, I'm just on those ankles.
Oh. Just chop them off.
You
You're
know,
thinking
I
about
used to
it.
get, and it'd get on my wrist too, that poison ivy would.
Yeah.
And you know what I would do? I would go find a black or the darkest car I could find, and I'd put my hand on the hood or the roof where that poison ivy was, and I'd just let it burn. Oh, it felt so good.
I can
I didn't
totally
scratch
see
it.
it. You're like, feel the
Yeah.
burn.
Oh,
And
it
yeah,
felt good.
oh, that's so funny. We're
It
funny.
hurt so good. No.
You know what I mean? I know what you're talking about. But it's funny because like here we are, just like being people, right?
Right,
That's what I like about this journey is, you know, you don't really know me, John, and I don't really know you, but we know each other, right?
right,
We know each other enough to have honest, real conversation, and that's what we lack as people, right? Is that honesty and, that non judgment. 'Cause I think it's great, like I love hearing your stories. They're funny.
yeah,
when you're
but they're
when
true.
when you're not getting hurt, right?
Yeah. Oh, they're funny too. I mean, all of it's funny. It doesn't
Right.
matter now.
Right. I know. It's just great, but I mean, it's not easy for sure. Like, I mean, I've just been trying to like deal with things on such a different level now, because it just got to the point being in this community the last year where I could see how people are just upset. You know what I mean? Because the
Right,
same narratives are being played. Like they're literally recycling information,
right,
and that's what I didn't understand about some channels. It's like if you did 20 videos on Nibiru and then you stop doing it for like 20 more videos, and then now why are you doing it again? Because I thought that people knew to just go back in people's channel and to look at their information of what they're speaking of, because like channels I thought were supposed to evolve,
right.
like you start somewhere and then you go somewhere else. I thought that's how truth, came to
Well,
be.
well, that's like these channels. They'll sit there and they'll flash up something and go. They got some news, and you tune in, and it's like, man, I've got some news y'all are not gonna believe, and they go on and on and on, and then after they're about done, they're like, I just can't tell y'all, but I just wanted y'all to know I got some news. Well, I know as much as I knew before I tuned in, you know what I mean? So thanks for wasting my time. but they did it for the views and stuff. It's all about them.
Well, then I
That's why they
say,
rehash on the same subjects later, because they got to let it die down, because there's an
right.
attention span. They've got a book. They got their own playbook.
Right. But I mean, that's where people need to go, okay, go in. And if you're not growing spiritually by, some point, right? I mean, that's where
Right,
we have to ask ourselves as people, like, why am I still like, I've been listening to this person for a year, and nothing they said has really ever come true. You know what I mean?
right,
Like, at what point
right.
do you go as a person, like, why am I still listening to this crap? I could just listen to something on mainstream media at that point because they're
Well,
doing the
that's
same
why they're
thing.
going. Well, that's why they're getting into that daggum third eye stuff. There's like, let's
Yeah,
ride this new wave. I mean, things are really happening, but they're on the like American Idol side of it. They're dramatizing it. They're playing it up. They're
right.
putting their
Well,
own spin on it. They're putting their own trademark or brand. You know what I
right,
mean?
right. Well, we should spread the word that you don't mess with a third eye. Like, don't tell people to be doing that because that's something that naturally happens to you during your spiritual walk. And
Right.
that,
Okay. I was gonna.
and not all people ever understand fully their third eye. So that's not
Right.
something to be messed with because that's a dimensional thing, right? That's a spiritual thing. So if you're not
That's
right,
where.
right, if you're not right in your mind, if you're forcing it, like if you force anything, right? If you force sex on a woman, that is rape. So why would you
Right.
force your third eye to open? Because that's not right. That's just as precious. You know what I mean?
And an example would be what happened to me. I believe my third eye opened up, and that's what all the information was coming through. Right. I
Right.
mean,
Exactly. Exactly.
but it
But
was.
you didn't force it
I didn't
though.
force it. Right. I did not force it. It did it on its own, and everything that
Exactly.
came in on its own. I had no control over
Exactly.
anything, actually.
So can you imagine if you didn't do it naturally and you forced it open, what's going to come in? We're talking
Well,
spiritual,
that puts you on the realm of the fallen ones, because they thought they could do
Exactly.
things better. So now you got
Exactly.
people on this earth thinking, well, I can open up this, I can force this third eye open. Yeah, you can, in the
Right.
realm of the fallen ones.
Exactly. And that's why people should be use discernment, use discernment.
Right.
If it hasn't come to you naturally, it's because it's not time, because you have work to do. Because to have that level of understanding, you don't just get it. You know what I mean? That's something you have to work within. And that's why I just really, really stress, do not do that. It's not necessary. You're divine the way you are, you know explore spiritualism on different avenues, because that's not the way to heaven.
Right.
Like,
That's a way to
yeah, you don't
use
for
that power on this earth for things on this earth, almost.
right, and that's not what we're trying to achieve. Spiritual gifts are just that. They're not from here.
Right.
It's a natural ability that's coming out of you that you already know, but it only they come out so differently for everybody. You know what I mean? One spiritual gift may not be such a spiritual gift to someone else, but that's why it's spiritual, because it's your own understanding, it's your own gift. Not everyone's gifts are the same or work the same, but you only understand that when you're willing to be humble to the gifts that you receive.
Right.
So I mean, that's what I say to people, like, don't expect to be like doing some crazy stuff, because that's why you're never going to do anything, because you expect it. I didn't expect
Right.
anything. That's why I have the gifts I have, because I truly understand the importance of how they are to be used, and how that you are humble with them, because that's the way it's supposed to be, for me at least. And that's
Right.
why
You're
I
humbled,
understand.
and I'm cursed by them. No, I'm joking. I'm kidding. I'm not cursed, but
I know you're
it's
funny.
something you can't do anything about.
No,
I can say that.
right.
Once you got it, it's
You got it, right? And that's when
right.
you go within and you learn, well, what does this mean? You know?
Hmm.
Like, how does this gift really work and why do I have it? And you seek that and you get the information, and that's why you get synchronicity really fast. That's why you get confirmations really fast. That's why you have knowings out of the blue of things that you never understood before, that come
Oh
clear to
yeah.
you. And that's because that you are humble, you know what I mean? You are trying to stay in the basics always, which is unconditional love, harmony. That's
Well,
why.
check this out. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, honey.
I was gonna say, you're talking about things that out of the blue, like in your mind.
Right.
I have had. Well, let's see. How can I say this? It might have been something on YouTube, or it might have been a thought. Whichever way it did it, would it
Right.
come into my head, right? And it would hit me that was the answer to a question I had 35 years ago. And I
Right.
remember having that question 35 years ago, and I'm like, well, here's the answer. Is that weird?
No, that's you. You're connecting with your higher self, right? And what essentially your higher self is the part of you that was suppressed. Okay, so your higher self understands who you are, essentially, understands the gifts that you have, and he understands the sadness in you and how it works. And his higher self, that is the one that is guiding you, through this. And your
Right.
higher self is essentially Jesus Christ. Because anything that is not from here is from the Father that's connected to us. So when I speak of higher self, I'm just saying embrace your higher self, and your higher self is Jesus Christ. You're a part of.
The Holy Spirit.
Yes, the Trinity, exactly. So, you're part of that. We are not, a lot of people mistake it and they say they're God and they do all that crazy stuff.
Right.
But see, there's that one word that distinguishes the fruits of the children of God. And that's when we say we are of God. See?
Right. Right.
So
Right.
that's where, being humble comes in, because we truly understand what that means. So I hope that
Well,
makes
of
sense.
God, and God is supposed to dwell within us also.
Exactly. Yes, God, exactly. It is in us. But we are only a part of that because of who we are. We are a creation.
Right.
We are not the creator. And that's where a lot of people get mixed up with different things that are being told to them, because they say, Jesus says we will do greater works than him. So then people think, take that sometimes the wrong way, and we have to just stay in the truth of what that really means. And I believe that he said we'll do greater works than him because of the times we live in, because of technology, because
Right.
things, miracles have to be much greater right now for people to see them, because they're so used to like blowing everything off that's already happening around them. So I think that's why
Yeah.
Jesus says that. I don't know. I believe that to some extent.
Well, that's like my jawbone thing. I mean, that was a miracle.
Right? Of course it
Because those
was.
orthodontists, they're like, how does this happen? The only way that can happen is surgery and removing a quarter inch of bone.
Right.
And then, I mean, they re-X-rayed and everything, and they're like, it's fixed now.
Exactly. And that's why, like, you can't explain that stuff. And that's why it is spiritual, you know, because there is no explanation for it. But
And the first thing, oh, go
oh,
ahead.
sorry. Well,
Go ahead.
I have a tip on teeth and healing your teeth and your gums. And what you can do is, if anyone has problems with that, it's called oiling. I just learned about it from a girlfriend who does a lot of herbal things. And what you do is put coconut oil on your teeth and your gums. And what it'll do is it'll actually, your people's teeth are growing back. So coconut oil is just, I know it sounds crazy, but it works. Like your teeth actually get stronger. Because I've been using it on mine too, but I don't have a lot of problems with my teeth. But, just for my own
Right.
self, I wanted to know how it would feel. And I could actually feel my teeth are getting tighter.
Huh.
Yeah. And it's just, you just put extra virgin coconut oil and you just
Mm-hmm.
rub it on there. And I don't know how it actually all works, but I know it works. And that's not my expertise by any means, but I have girlfriends that are doing it and helping others, and people are actually getting some benefit from their gums and their teeth. So we do have a lot of ways to do self-healing. There are things on this
Right.
planet for us to do, so, and it's good for other things also, but I just thought
Oh
I'd
yeah,
throw
you can
that.
cook with it. You can
Yeah.
use it to make deodorant. I mean, all sorts of things. I'm
Yep.
serious. We had
I
we call them the hippies, but they're sovereign citizens,
Right.
and they live in Costa Rica now. But they used to
Oh,
use coconut oil. Well, yeah, it kind of was like Crisco in a way. It was hard white when it's cold, I guess. It'll
yeah.
liquefy pretty quick,
Yeah, that's what
and
I
it
use.
burns fast too. Because I tried cooking with it.
Right.
I guess I cook with more heat than that coconut oil handle.
Hey, my
It's kind of
dad.
like butter. You know how fast butter would burn up or whatever?
Right.
That coconut
Right.
oil will do it quick.
Right. My dad lives in Costa Rica.
Really?
Yeah, my dad's a writer and he lives there. He lives in Monteverde. It's the city of clouds, so he lives on the cloud line in Costa Rica in the jungle.
His,
But
his name isn't Stephen King, is it? I love some Stephen King books, man.
You're
That
so
guy's
funny.
taken my mind places that, man, a movie could never do.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, he has some really crazy stuff going on in his mind,
Oh,
doesn't he?
yeah.
Yep.
And the
Yeah.
way he can get it out there to where you can see it. I mean, that's what's crazy.
Right. Right. Yeah,
When
no,
I
my
read a
dad.
book, well, I was going to say, when I read a book, I can see it, and everything around me disappears. I mean,
Right.
a car could crash beside me, and I wouldn't even know it.
Right. You're just really
When
into
I,
it.
yeah, when I really get into a good book, I'm there.
It's and that's a really good thing because that's your imagination and you're putting yourself in the situation, and that's what I love about reading too. It's like you're making your own decision up, on what you're reading. So I really like that too.
Well, I've read. He had a hardback. Well, it was in hardback form. It was
Right.
called Needful Things, and it was like 1,324 pages. I read that book in 3 days.
Oh, wow. Wow. So
Yeah, I
he's one of
couldn't put
your
it down.
yeah, he's one of your favorite authors too. That's my stepdad loves Stephen King. He has all of the
Really.
books. Yeah, everything that comes out he gets. So yeah,
I'm
he's
wondering, did he ever finish the drawing of the? What was it? The drawing of the? It was the Tower series. It was supposed to be 5 books, and he only had like 3 out. It was like the Dawning of the Three or the Drawing of the Three, and
I think that's funny you said that because he was reading a series of books before I left.
the Gunslinger was one of them. That's
I
that's who the Gunslinger was in this series of stories he was doing.
Yeah, I think he might have actually been reading some of those because I remember he was real excited because there was something new that had come out, and it was this. So
Mm.
I think it might be something he was reading, but I never really got into like Stephen King or any of that stuff just because like I just don't like scary stuff. I never have. My life was scary enough. You know what I mean? I was like,
Right.
I don't need to put more on myself. But Yeah, he really likes that. But my dad, he writes more spiritual stuff. He does a lot of
Okay.
really spiritual books and stuff because he had his own journey. My dad woke up the year I was born. So I was born in 1971. I'm 48. So, like that's the year he woke up, and there was just he had visions and stuff too. So it's just a strange story. My whole family thing is strange. And then he left in 2004 for Costa Rica, and then he was in Machu Picchu in 2012, where the Mayan calendar is. I hope I'm
Yeah,
saying Machu Picchu right, but
I
anyhow, he
think
was
so.
he was there for that because he's done a lot of he has a lot of information on all this, and he's had it for years. It would blow people's mind away if I showed you some
Yeah.
of his stuff, but he's been understanding to a lot also. But yeah, what happened in 2012, he said, was crazy because he was under the impression um, that whatever was supposed to happen, and it was stopped. That's what he thought. And we haven't gotten into too much of it. He wrote about it, but he has some interesting theories too, my dad. But he's kind of eccentric also. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's interesting. Our families, right? The families we're in.
What was this kind of take on it? Is it the one where the Earth got destroyed, but the scientists somehow got a time machine going and brought us all back to another
Well,
point in time to?
my dad talks a lot about portals and stuff,
Uh,
and ley lines and things like that. And my dad's uh, very highly enlightened. It's even very hard for me to explain his work. I would literally have to pull his
right.
book out and go through it with you because he writes very different, and he's just really highly enlightened. I don't know any other way to say it. He's lacking a very, but my dad and I are very different too. Is that he's lacking the one thing that we're all seeking, and that is unconditional love. So
All right.
that is the one thing that we've always not seen eye to eye on. I guess is that how do you have all this information but you lack the understanding of love? And eventually I figured out that was because his mom committed suicide in front of him when he was 5
Oh.
and broke that connection, so he was always seeking,
Oh. Okay.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but that takes time to work through, and that's the journey he is on, and we're all on. So, but growing up, you don't quite understand, all of that. So
Huh.
interesting, huh?
Yeah. I'm just, man, my mind's been blown away. I had some questions, but they just kind of just, I'm digesting something.
Sorry. I hope I'm not like speaking too
No,
much
no,
information. I just, how I am,
no.
John Boy. I just kind of go with it. You
I
know.
do too.
Yeah, I
Hey,
mean, hey, I should give
I,
you my phone
this,
number so you can keep in touch with me through if Hangouts doesn't work out,
yeah, you can put it, I guess,
right?
in, well,
I
how
can
should
put
we do that?
I can put
I
it in
got your
hang.
email.
You got my email, so just email me, and I can
All right.
give you my phone number through there. And because I don't want you to feel like you're sitting up there all alone, because we until we figure out what's going on with Hangouts, and how we're going to do
Oh,
something different.
I can feel everybody. That's what's weird. I feel everybody out there in a way. Just, I don't know
Right.
how to explain it,
No,
but it's not like I'm physically alone, but I'm not. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, no,
I
I
mean,
totally get it.
I don't know what I'm
I
trying to
totally
say.
get it. But you know what, John? This journey is not over yet. And it's just nice to know you have somebody's number, and if you want to talk to them you can, because they'll answer the phone.
Oh yeah.
So that's all I'm
Well, I
saying,
appreciate
you
it.
know. Yeah. Plus I want to know what's going on because I'm so busy, you know. Sometimes I don't get on all the time, but I still want to, you know, participate. It's just I have my
Yeah.
story. You know, I'm doing some crazy stuff when I'm not when I'm not doing this. So it's nice to hook up with everyone and kind of let people know what I'm doing and what's going on down here, you know, where I'm at and what I see.
Yeah,
So it's yeah.
we're gonna have to just go back to how we were and do individual, uploads or do it off the laptop for a minute anyhow.
Right. Yep. And
I
you
mean, we're
know,
still connected through YouTube channel wise, but I
right.
don't know if the live part of Hangouts is going away and the rest of it stays or if it's all going because they got rid of Google Plus
Right. Well, when is it supposed to go off officially?
20 minutes ago, I think. I don't know. It says they say August the 1st, and it's August the 1st right now. So is it August the 1st
Yeah.
now or August the 1st at noon or when we go into August the 2nd? I cannot figure it out.
I
All I
love
know is August the 1st.
it. Or you could
And
say it
we're
this
in it.
way, John. You could say it this way: August 1st next year. Maybe it's next year,
All I
August
know,
1st.
all
John
I
Boy might
know
be
is,
grandfathered in. That's probably why.
yeah, I'm grandfathered in. They don't turn my mobile abilities, streaming abilities off my phone for none. I was gonna say it's lunchtime Monday. Oh, let's see what day. It's lunchtime August 1st over in Thailand. Teacup should be eating her lunch about now, or done eating.
All right. Yeah, she's
She's
over
our
in.
little time traveler.
She is. She is. She has such a wonderful spirit. I love her. I
Hmm.
don't get to talk to her enough. We don't seem to connect all the time on here, but you know how that goes. It's all good.
It's all changing. Everybody's. It's all. I don't know how to explain it, but everything's gathering the way it's supposed to. I guess.
It is. It is. And you know, I just try to stay out all the narratives, you know. I know what's right and wrong. I mean,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna beat myself up when, you know, I'm not correct on something. I'm just gonna learn from it, you know, because a lot of times we put, you know, we're putting our energy into these other things and we're putting our love and understanding into other things, and then sometimes it just doesn't work out, or the person or the people you're dealing with aren't what they say they are, you know.
Right.
But we just have to forgive ourselves and say, you know what, it's a lesson learned. You know, I'm going to move on. I'm going to find the people that I know that want to follow in love, you know, and just go from there. And that's what I do, because I don't have any disdain for any of these people. It's just kind of sad when you see people fall away in a direction of, you know, of the opposite of what we try to speak of. So
Right.
I just pray for them. What else can you do, right? I mean, I who am I to tell
Well,
you anything else? I've made mistakes, you know, so I don't know.
well, it's a hard choice between this kind of life or the life of endless treasures that you can have if you only do this. You can live the lifestyles of the rich and the famous.
I
Yeah.
like that. You had me convinced for a minute. I was like, "Ooh, John boy."
Mm,
That was funny. I was like,
I
"Oh."
hear.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we could say that money could have solved our problems, right, on this planet, but anybody who's had a lot of money and no money like I have, and you know, I could honestly say it all kind of sucked. And you know,
Well,
I
yeah.
I don't have anything right now. I mean, I gave it all up. I have literally a suitcase, and that's what I travel with. And let me tell you, it's nice. It's nice knowing when I need to go somewhere, I can just go and my things are already with me that I have, you know? And like, I don't have to worry about, locking a house up or anything like that. Cause, I just refuse to be kept inside and in a box anymore. And, it's just, I've been blessed to be able to do that. And I know that. So I just really travel light, because I'm not taking any of this with me. So there's no point in
Right.
keeping it. Yeah. Plus,
Right.
I don't need anything. Like, honestly, if I wouldn't have listened and, I just literally walked away from my house one day, and because I just knew it, like, Jesus was like, look at your house. You're not living there no more, and I remember looking at my ex and going, I don't live here and either do you. And I left and I never went back, and it wasn't that he didn't know what I was doing. Like, I wasn't being hurtful to him. I don't want anyone to think that I would do that. I had known I was going to leave, and I had told him for like a year, like, you either do you walk with me with Jesus, or I'm going to go, cuz that's what's happening here. So it wasn't like, you know what I mean? He knew it was coming. He just, like most people, they don't believe it, even when
Right.
you're telling them and honestly telling them, so I mean, what can you do, right? He had a choice too, and he could have walked on this journey with me, but he chose not to. And it was probably for the best, because he didn't have my best interest at heart, and we didn't have that spiritual
Yeah.
relationship of, unconditional love. So it was what it was supposed to be, but it's not easy, it's not easy having to walk away from people you love to follow your heart on this journey. So I really do understand that. I've had to walk away from a lot to find myself, and find what I needed to do next. But you can always go back, and that's the thing that I tell people, like, giving up things, giving up attachments and everything that you have to do on this planet right now doesn't mean that you never see the ones you love anymore or speak to them. It just means you have a different, understanding, that it's not your will, it's the Father's will. And when you leave it up to the Father, your children are fine, and they do get better, and they do heal. And that's what my experience was, and I talk to my kids all the time, and we Skype as much as possible, and they're growing, and so I feel blessed in that, that way. But it was what I was led to do, not everyone's led to do that, but I did it
Right.
because I didn't want to recycle. I was like, no, I refuse. I'm not coming back here. you know
I've been, ever since I was young, I felt like I was supposed to be a preacher. And I'm like, man, I'm not doing that. And I have been refusing that ever since. And I think
Right.
that's why I go through what I go through. I'm in the belly of the well. You know what I
Well,
mean?
maybe it's time to start declaring that love. I don't know what the sense, you know what I mean? Like, do you mean a preacher as far as like preaching in a church, preaching on the
No, just
road, or
preaching the truth, man, the truth of
right,
everything and how to
right,
get out of here alive. You know,
right, right,
not condemned to eternity and,
of doing this over and over again. And I think,
I don't
honestly,
know what it is. This is hell.
well,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
because it's duality, right? And look at the manifestations. I believe that too, but you have an
Mhm.
opportunity now to break free from that. And all you're doing is breaking free from yourself, the programming, and what I mean, all the lies and all the things that you've told yourself that were true, that are seriously lies, all the understanding
Right.
that we thought we had, which was a bunch of BS also. You know what I mean? It's just like literally going through your mind and clearing it out. And once you clear that
Well,
space out, you have room for the spiritual aspect of it.
I've been asking questions since I was 3, right? I've probably
Right.
said this before, but I asked my dad a question a couple of years ago, right? And he just looked at me and goes, "Why do you ask questions that don't have any answers?" And I'm like, if I have a question, there has to be an answer somewhere, right? I
Right.
mean, there wouldn't be a question if there wasn't an answer, right?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's
And
what I
that's the
told
truth
him.
of it.
I was like,
Yeah. You were right. You were a cool little kid.
but yeah, it's just, if I got a question, there has to be an answer. It's that
Yes.
simple.
Yeah, and
Tit for
that's
tat,
why
good and evil, hot
ex-
and cold. Question, answer, question.
exactly. Yeah, right.
Pretty
And you
simple.
and and I mean you, if anybody knows, being out there where you are, you've had to go within.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just me and my little dog.
Oh, I bet he's cute. I love animals.
She's
I
she's
just
crazy. She can read my mind, man. That dog knows what I'm thinking. If it
yeah.
knows I'm fixing to go somewhere, it'll go get in the Jeep. I'm serious. That thing, it knows.
That's so
I'm
cute.
serious.
I
One
know
day I
you're
was sitting
serious.
in the shop. I did not look at the go-kart or anything. I was just sitting there and I thought, I hadn't been on that go-kart. No sooner I thought that, she jumped out of her chair, ran out of the shop, and jumped in that go-kart. And was sitting there looking at me like, come on. So I had to take her for a ride. She loves
Oh,
that thing, man.
how cute. I'm getting my
Oh,
own dog for the first time. So I'm
mm-mm.
really excited because I always get everybody's dog at
What
the
kind?
end. I don't know. I just want a
Yeah,
little dog, and I'm going to go to the Humane Society, and hope for the
yeah, yeah.
best, and just have my own little friend because animals
The,
love me. They just love me,
right.
and I love them. I have, they're so unconditional, and I have a lot of love, and I just really want my own dog now. Like, that's something I've always wanted, and so I'm going to embrace it, and I'm going to be a happy little dog owner. And my dog's
Well,
going to be on my
hopefully,
videos sometime.
hopefully the little dog will pick you out. That's how
Yay!
my little dog did. My little dog picked me out of the litter.
Oh, I would love
I'm
that. Thank
serious. Guy
you.
come by with 6 little puppies, and I went to
Oh,
look at them, and that one crawled up in my arms, and I set her back down. I tried to look, and it got back in my arms, and I set her back down. And
oh,
it got back in my arms, and the guy said, "Looks like it picked you." I'm like,
yes.
"Yeah, I guess it did." And then it named itself too. It's crazy.
Really?
The dog named itself. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I'm
How
serious.
how'd the dog name himself?
All right, her name is
Oh, her.
Ouija, like a Ouija board.
Yeah.
All right, I'm serious. And the dog's like dual personality. It's two different dogs. It fights with its back half. The back half wins. And it pin its head down, and I'm serious. It's crazy stuff I've ever seen. But I was trying to call her like Princess and Precious, and she never would answer to it. And she was just all crazy, right? And one day I'm like, "You're just like something out of a Ouija board." But before I could say board, she come
Yeah.
running to me. So I got her on the other side of the room again, not paying attention to me or whatever. And I go,
Right.
"Ouija." And she turned around and run to me. I'm like, "You little dog, you done named yourself too." She would never answer to anything, but she answered to Ouija. It was the
That's
craziest thing.
that's a wonderful story. I love it. Oh, I hope
So
I have a
she
cool.
picked me and named herself.
Oh, I hope I get a little dog like that. hopefully,
She's a little
hopefully.
min pin. So, and
Oh, that's exciting.
you talk
Cause
about animals. I've actually had deer stop. It'd be like a pack of 6 of them. I've
right.
had them stop. One of them come out of the pack and come all the way to within like 6 inches of my hand, and then turn around and walk back. The pack looks at it, and it does like, "Yeah, he's cool." And they all look at me and they start walking.
Yeah, that's so cool,
I've
isn't
had
it?
that happen several times.
You know why? Because they're attracted to your light. because I had that happen to me like a month ago. I was hiking and I was really far in. Like I was all kind of by myself, and there was all
Yeah.
these deer, and they all were just walking with me.
Yeah.
Walking
That's
right
cool.
by me. Yeah, and there was like
Yeah.
I don't know, there was like at least almost a dozen of them, and it was weird. It was like they were all surrounding me, but walking with me, like they were protecting me. That's
That's crazy. That'd been
that.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, are you kidding me? Because right before that, I was like, gosh, I'm not seeing any deer. I thought I would see some deer. I was all excited.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever, and I was just walking around. And next thing you know, I was like, oh, interesting. I was like, I love
And
it.
I had a weird thing happen one time. I was sanding on this truck. I was on the truck bed, and I had this little yellow bird that kept getting on the truck bed rails, and it actually landed on my shoulder one time while I'm sanding. And it would
Nice.
not leave me alone. It messed with me for 3 days, man, while I worked on this
Oh,
vehicle.
oh, that's
I
so
don't know what the
cool.
deal was with it.
It just loved you,
And
just
then,
coming around. A little
well, I had a
messenger bird.
Well, I've had another little yellow bird like that when I lived in Oakland. I was barbecuing, right? I had my barbecue grill going, and the
Right?
thing it was chirping at me. And I looked over, and, like, I don't know, 5 foot on the other side of the chain link gate was a bird bath. And this little yellow bird sitting there, he'd kind of, whatever his chirp was at me. And I looked, and he was looking at me, and he looked down at the empty bird bath thing. And then he looked back at me. I'm like, oh, you're out of water. So look, I go through the gate, go to the faucet, turn it on, walk over there with a hose and fill it up while the bird stands there and lets me do it. And after I get water in it, then it gets in there and takes a little bird bath. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
I would have
This
loved to
bird
see
told me to
that.
put some water in there and did not move. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
I love it. It's great. You're like, here you go. Oh man, you want
Yeah.
water now? What else do you want from
Yeah.
me? Special bird seed?
Well, then I had some wild squirrels that would actually sit in my lap and eat the milk bone I gave them. I'm serious. I could talk on a cell phone with them right there, and it wouldn't bother them a bit.
Wow, your energy is so good. Because animals think about the animals on this planet. They got like a raw deal, right? And
Right,
for them to trust you means a lot. And even if it's like some animals that could naturally come to us, you know what I'm
right,
saying? But when they're not acting like their normal self, which would be maybe intimidated by you or scared. You know what I mean? So you
right.
definitely have some wonderful energy. That's a gift, oh gosh, that's such a wonderful gift you have. I love animals. That's like one of my favorite
Oh, I
things.
do too.
Yeah, I love
I had
animals and
two.
insects and all of it.
Oh, did you hear me talk about the little insect that I made a pet out of?
No.
You know those little yellow and black striped sweat bead things? I don't know what you call them, but you can get over them and do your finger in a twirl and catch them. You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about? The land on you.
no, I haven't seen those.
I can't remember what they're called. They're not sweat bees, but they're I don't know what they're called. But I got some really big ones up here, and one landed on my hand. And I just let him walk around on my hand. It was like tasting me, right? And I could feel its tongue, man. I could feel every bit of it. Was like had a, I don't know. I could just feel the texture of it. And it was sitting there
Ooh.
touching my hand and stuff. I let him do that for a few minutes, and I was like, "Well, let me see if I can pet you." That thing let me sit there and pet it down its back and everything. I'm like, "Oh, this is crazy!" And it kept on walking around, staying on my hand, and I'd stop petting it, and then I'd go, "Let me pet you some more." I'd pet it, and it'd sit there and let me. And then it flew off, right?
Oh my
I was like, well,
gosh.
I'll see you later. The next day, that thing came back and landed on my hand again and let me pet it. Now, you tell me
Oh.
an insect's not intelligent if that thing remembered me. And it was the same one.
Oh my gosh, that's just
It came back and let me pet it some more.
that's phenomenal. You're connecting with insects, right? I mean,
Yeah.
wow, that's phenomenal. I love it. Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
that's
well,
great.
about a month ago, I saw something I've never seen before in real life or even on film. I mean, I've seen it, for sea turtles, but I actually found a box turtle laying eggs. And I sat there and I tried filming it. I only caught one egg at the beginning. And
Right.
she'd already laid about 4, I think. But I've never seen a box turtle do that in real life.
Wow. Wow. That's interesting because when I was kayaking, I had like, what do they call it? Those turtles, what are they called?
Snapping turtles,
Yeah, there was a snapper
log
in
turtles
there.
or snappers. Yeah.
And then one of them had like a square back. You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
it's probably a certain kind of snap. Were they snapping turtles or they'd have to
Yeah.
be in the river, right?
Yeah, it was a snapping turtle, but there was another one and I forget, but these things are literally like it's weird like you said, like they're not scared. They were
Yeah.
literally just swimming with me next to my kayak. I mean, right on me. They weren't aggressive. You know what I mean? And snappers,
Yeah.
they can get mean.
Oh, they snap a finger off for sure.
Yeah, and they were they were swimming right by me. It was, when you could feel the vibe is right, like you were with the little
Right.
insect, you knew you could pet it. I mean, that's so strange, but
Yeah.
sorry. I keep picturing this weird little bug coming over by you and you're petting it. I'm like, what? That's even weird for the apocalypse, man.
It's just
Anyhow,
crazy, man.
it's crazy. It is crazy. Well, listen, brother, because it's like in the morning and I'm
Yeah,
tired
we
and I
made
have
it
to
till
get up
August the
soon.
1st.
But we did, yes. See, no suppression here. But hey,
Not
just
yet.
get a hold of me. Get a hold of me, and so we
Okay.
keep all in touch on this. And and I'll see you in your live, and hopefully you guys will see me in a live in maybe another month or so. So,
All right. We'll be looking for it. But we'll
all
hopefully talk
right.
to you before then. But
Oh
thanks for
yeah,
showing
most
up and
definitely.
everything.
Yeah, most
I've
definitely. Thank you
enjoyed
for
talking to
having
you.
me. I
Oh, you're
enjoy from
welcome.
you, and I love everybody who's come in here and who didn't come in here. I just love you all. So sleep well, and we'll talk soon.
All right.
Good
Well,
night,
thank you.
Emily.
You have a good night.
Yeah, good night, you all. I love you dearly.
Peeps, I didn't know you were still here.
Yeah, just had it on mute, listening to you guys. I've been
Oh.
in chat.
Yeah, I've seen you. I mean, I've tried to look over there. I meant to say, see you later, applesauce, and who else left out? Love for Angels, but I didn't want to really interrupt the conversation, so I had to, you know.
Yeah,
I
no, I hear
think
you.
that's where
Bamboo lost power
I
and
like
internet.
messing with my chat, but I keep having my string goes white and then it comes back. I don't know what's going on with it. It's been doing that periodically here
Hmm.
and there. Man,
Yeah,
well, what do you think about the playbook? The big channels made that sucker and then played it off like the government gave them a playbook to go by, and all they were doing is trying to manipulate the masses and everything in their favor.
yeah, I don't know, man.
Is
That's
that not
crazy.
messed up?
Yeah, that is.
That's why John X wasn't scared to say, I was a puppet for the deep state. No, he was never a puppet for the deep state because the playbook was not a deep state playbook. The deep state, that was a daggum YouTube playbook.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
the YouTube channels, the big ones, they or whoever's above them. Anyhow, they're the ones. It ain't nothing to do with the government whatsoever. It's like a scam, man. They ran a scam on YouTube acting like there's a playbook the government was having them follow. And the whole time it's actually their way they're being greedy and doing what they're doing and acting like, well, it's not us, it's out of our hands. The government's got this playbook, blah blah blah. And, it's crazy.
Yeah, that is messed up. That makes sense on that why he said that.
Yeah, it makes sense why you're not scared to say, I was a puppet for the deep state. No, you wasn't, because the deep state was never involved. You know what I mean? The playbook is fake. Come on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was bunch of BS.
A scam. I just
Yes,
wish I had had
indeed.
Tails up here to enjoy that little bit of schemicity or whatever.
Yeah.
Man, I sent Bamboo an invite, I don't know how long ago, twice.
Well, he lost power. He just popped in here.
Oh,
He lost
okay.
power and internet. So he just popped.
Man,
He just
everybody's
popped in here.
losing. Didn't Omni say she was out of power up there in Oregon?
Oh, Tails is in the He just popped in. Hello. Guess I'm late to the party. Sorry,
Tails.
guys. Been on the move. Tails.
He's got
No,
an
he
invitation.
Albany said that there was power out right next to her county or something like that.
Oh, okay. I thought she had power out. I thought she said something about her treehouse didn't have electricity or something.
I didn't catch that one.
No, I saw that earlier, like hours ago. I'm fixing to snack on some Major and oranges, y'all. I don't know. We made it through today. I wonder if it. Every time. This daggum. I don't know. They're like little plastic snack pack containers. And you gotta pull that clear off the top of it. And every time I squirt myself with this daggum juice that's in there. I haven't not done it yet. Well, peeps, I got your email, and I've got applesauces and a few others. So I guess if we get back in contact that way, they might leave the other part of Hangouts open. I don't know. I don't really know how that's gonna work.
Magoo is saying because Enlighten unplugged her cord. I don't know what that means.
Do what?
I don't know. He said because Enlighten unplugged her cord.
Whose cord?
I don't know whose cord he's talking about.
That's what I'm trying to go back reread.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. These things have a weird taste to them.
What, the oranges?
Yeah. I can't. It's the processing, man. You know, it's the extra additives they put in stuff that I taste, I guess.
Yeah. Could be.
That gum tells. I had an RX-7 up there in the field for 3 years and went out there and that thing cranked right up. I had a Trans Am I had in the field for 5 years, and I got it out of the field and drove that thing down to Florida, man. I never made it back, but I got to Florida. That's messed up.
Damn.
Yep, it was old 79 T-top.
Nice.
Wound up getting stranded down there and having to live out of it. Now, you don't want a T-top when it's raining. I wound up getting Walmart bags and hanging them on the inside the car so I could drain the water out the cracked window. So that was coming in through the T-tops. It was terrible. It wasn't bad if you were driving, but if you're parked trying to sleep or whatever,
Yeah.
that rain would come in.
Trying to.
Man, I guess I'm not even chewing. I'm just swallowing these things whole. Can y'all hear me eating them? Well, what we're gonna do, peeps?
I think. Oh, you already have Tails in here. Never mind.
Right, I invited him a few different times.
I was trying to see if I can get the link.
Because I could use some rest. I made it to the first. I'm still broadcasting into the first.
Yeah.
This might be the last live ever. Well, it's going to have to be, isn't it? Unless it's somehow still on in the morning when I get up. If I go to bed. I am about tired, though, man. I've been just wore out.
Oh, it was about Albany, Goose. That was the conversation about her treehouse.
Oh, okay.
And Teacup is saying 16 hours ago they lost power in her city after the storm.
That's kind of, there goes my screen again. Kind of weird. Tells I have to too, man. I hurt myself, and you just got to keep on going, man. Because you can't let something stop you. I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Shoot, when I had that deer wreck with that motorcycle, I was supposed to lay in bed and keep that one leg elevated. Man, I can't lay around. What I mean? I just can't. So I'd wind up, man, it hurt so bad to get out of that bed. But once I stood up, I just stand up the rest of the day because I refuse to lay down. But man, that would make that leg swell up like twice the size it should have been. But I'm not a layer downer. I can't do that. I don't even care if it's doctor's orders.
Yeah, how's your foot doing, Tails?
He's having to live with it. That's how we all do. I'm serious. You can't do nothing. I mean, I know how he feels. Just because you're hurt don't mean you can't work. You got, when you got stuff you got to do, you just got to do it.
Yep. It's like that saying, walk it off.
Yeah. Shake it off, boy. Get back out there.
Yeah.
Dadgum got a knot the size of a baseball on top of your head. You're fine. Get back out there,
Yeah. Yeah, go get another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Crazy
a wonder
girl.
I survived my childhood. I'm serious. Evel Knievel was my guy. It wasn't Superman. It wasn't Batman. Back then, all we had was Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man. I don't even think they had a Wonder Woman back then. But man, Evel Knievel was my man.
I don't know.
And I want to be just like him. So I wrecked my bicycle and everything just like him. I feel the effects nowadays. No, I used to make ramps and jump ramps. Found out what happens when you got to overdrive wood for planks and you hit it really fast with a bicycle. to split that wood. You don't have a ramp anymore. You got a barricade that you had to ramp on. You're fixing to hit. You know what I mean? Actually, the front tire cleared it. The back tire went through. That was crazy, people. I was going through the air. The back, what it did, I got like 3 car rims and stacked them up, right? And I stuck some wooden planks on them. And I come down this big old tall hill and come down into the yard. And I was pedaling as fast as you can pedal a 20-inch. And I hit that ramp. And as soon as the front tire got in the air, I felt like I'm. Next thing I know, I'm sideways in the air, and I hear. What happened? That wood split with the back tire on it, and that back tire caught the car rim, and it busted the tire and rim, and you could hear the air coming out of that back tire.
Nice.
And I was flying through the air, and I just kicked the bike out from under. It wasn't really under me because I was sideways. It was crazy, man. I jumped a gravel pile one time, man. This gravel pile was like, I don't know, 4 foot tall. You know how they just dump it out of the back of the dump truck?
Mm-hmm.
We done been messing around with the bicycles on it, and I had a good idea. Why not come down this hill and hit that gravel pile wide open? Man, I got some serious air, but let me tell you what happened. When I hit the top of that gravel pile, huh?
And then when you
no. No, you know what a bad feeling is? When you come off the top of a 4 foot high gravel pile and you're holding the handlebars in one hand way over here and it's not connected to the bike anymore and you're in the air with no handlebars. Yeah. I was like, oh no. And I just kicked that bike out from under me because I wasn't going to land with no handlebars. But yeah, they came out on me, man. I mean, the whole gooseneck and all just pulled out. You know that wedge thing? I guess it was wore out in there.
Mm-hmm.
But what a time for it to come out when you're hitting one of the tallest things you've ever tried to jump.
I thought you were going to say that I got stuck on the gravel. That's what happened to me. I went flying by myself. My front tire got stuck.
No, we'd been riding up and down on it, you know what I mean? And it kind of, I guess, packed it down or evened it out to where, it was pretty firm. We had like a path that went up it. And I just hit that path that was pretty well. I mean, it was secure, but man. And then I thought I had those suckers fixed. And I was on the road and I was riding a wheelie and the dadgum handlebars come out. Oh man, I landed on my butt. Doing like, I don't know, 15 mile an hour. However fast you can ride a wheelie on a 20-inch.
Yeah. Magoo's like, he went rad. That was a good movie.
What's that?
The movie Rad.
I don't guess I've seen it.
It's about bicycles and racing and freestyling tricks. It's pretty cool.
Okay. Well, I haven't really watched any new movies since, I guess, Terminator. I'm telling y'all, I stopped kind of watching stuff back in the 90s, early 90s.
Oh, no, this is a movie from, like, the 80s.
My internet my Hangouts keeps disconnecting over here like it was doing. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's me coming back in.
Oh.
Well, shoot. You want to call it a night, peeps?
It's up to you, man.
Well, I mean,
welcome, Eric Garcia.
Toad on the playbook. Eric Garcia, how you doing? I have to look over here at my phone, but the writing's so small on it. It's hard.
You got to pull out your bifocals.
Yeah, I do have bifocals, but I can't wear them. I mean, I tried, but it throws my depth perception off, and it makes me walk like I'm drunk. I mean, I'll take steps like I'm stepping up on some steps or something. I don't know. Those glasses mess me up. I cannot function with them. I'm serious. And I thought I needed them to help me, you know, like on pinstriping or masking off something to paint, and where you got to get a real defined line and divide, you know what I mean, from what you want to paint, not paint.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured, well, glasses will help me. Now I tried using those glasses, and I don't know, it distorts my vision so bad. Even though I can see with them, if I try to work with them, I can't. Does that make any sense? I cannot place my hands where I need to put them because my depth perception is if my hands are that size, I'm too close. You know what I'm saying? It just throws off how my mind's seen things all those years. And they said wear them for 2 weeks so your eyes or your, how they say it, your brain will reject them, basically, is what they said. And basically, my brain rejected glasses because I could not adapt to them. This is weird.
Normally it takes like.
And you know what else is crazy?
Mm-hmm.
They told me I got 20/20 vision. Why the hell I need bifocals? You know, I got 20/20 vision. He said I got stigmatisms and I got real bad in my left eye and it has to work twice as hard to focus. He goes, that's why, you know, your vision's like it is, but you have 20/20. I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's,
Yeah, they tell
but
me
I guess it
20/20,
is.
but I wear glasses. Tell me I have 20/20,
Yeah,
but I
they
wear glasses.
prescribed me glasses and I got 20/20, right? I'm like, that don't make sense.
I'm like,
So, but I can prove a point, though. Well, it was the VA. It ain't like they're making any money. I'm serious. Yeah. It was the VA. But the other day, a friend of mine. Oh, go ahead.
No, because I remember the story that you told. That's why I'm laughing.
Oh, okay. About the don't put the stuff in my eye thing.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to dilate them, and I said nope. No, but I had a friend sit there and stop it in my driveway. He was on his 4-wheeler yesterday, right? We're sitting there talking. I said, you see that little dog running around down there? He goes, what dog? I go, the one by that red 4-wheeler. He goes, what 4-wheeler? I'm like, the one down there in the second driveway while he's down there. He's like, what driveway? I don't see. I'm like, are you kidding me? You cannot see that red 4-wheeler, right? I mean, I'm looking at it as plain as day, but I'm going to tell you the thing was probably, I'd say there's a good 700 feet or better to where that 4-wheeler was, and he couldn't see it. And I looked at him, I said, I could shoot a lug nut off the front tire with just regular sights from here. And I could. I mean, seriously, that to me, and it surprises me, people talk about, you know, shooting their guns and they're only shooting like, I don't know, like 50 yards. I'm like, really? Man, I'm trying to shoot like, you know, 500 yards. I don't want anybody getting that close to me, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I thought anybody could hit anything at 50 yards. I thought you wanted to hit something further off. And that's how I've always been all my life. And I also learned, you know, wish the bullet to the target. That really helps.
Yeah. Eric Garcia says he's got. He said he's got X-ray vision. He sees naughty things, unfortunately. It's funny.
I guess I missed it.
No. He said that he's got X-ray vision. He sees naughty things, unfortunately.
Oh. I was trying to find it in the chat. And I don't see it. But I am looking over here at this little bitty phone. I used to think this phone was big until I got a tablet. I'm serious.
All right. Good
I
night,
can't
Eric.
see.
Thanks for stopping by, man.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. Oh man, I ain't lying, Pete. I think we ought to call it a night.
All right, man.
We came, we saw, we conquered. We did a lot of talking, did a lot of listening.
Yeah,
I
that's cool.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep everybody up too late. It's 1:04 here now. I've
Yeah.
never seen Marfoogle go on TV that early. I mean, on the internet that early.
Well, right now.
Oh, he came on at like 10:30.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've never seen him come on that early.
Wow.
And wait a minute. Okay, no, yeah. What day is this? Monday? Tuesday now, right?
Hmm.
Wait a minute. Yesterday was Monday. Today's right. I'm getting all confused over here, man. I need some sleep. But yeah, I
Yeah.
guess we'll go ahead and call
Thursday
this
already.
one a night. I appreciate everybody coming in. Naga, he didn't talk much this time, but
No, he was.
we gotta get
Well,
him. He's
uh,
got a
he had to,
huh?
he had to go to sleep too. He had to catch up on some
Oh,
sleep.
that's
He
right.
said.
I do too. I really do, y'all. I didn't make a continuous 24/7 to today, but I did something.
Yeah.
I
You got
mean,
on there.
well, we had the electrical storm, and then the daggum billing change, and you know, kind of threw me off. And then I don't know, we
Yeah.
were on here way too much. It was killing everybody.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd like to say good night to everybody in the chat. I appreciate y'all showing up. Tails, I've been trying to get a hold of y'all since before I started. This might be the last live stream ever. Probably is.
I was trying to
I'll
find
check
like
it out tomorrow.
where it says like August 1st, but I can't see.
Well, when I go live, it pops up a blue box and it says notice as of August the 1st, Hangouts Live is going away, and then it says there for more information. And then it's got whatever in blue writing you click on. Learn more at, I think that's what it says in blue. And I've never clicked on it.
Wow.
But yeah, every time I go live, that little blue box pops up and tells me that. And it didn't start popping up until the second Hangouts Live I tried testing out, and then I saw it. I'm like, what? It wasn't on the first one. I would have noticed that because it's the first time I ever tried to go live, you know what I mean? So they decided, well, John Boy's found Hangouts Live. It's time to shut it down.
Yeah.
Hey, it was going to be dangerous. I like it. And it's gone.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy
So
that
now I
you're
got to get
still
cable.
going.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
going to get cable and I'm going to get OBS going, which I can do more than I can't get the panel up like that. That's the whole problem. Yeah, I could if we all went to Skype. Then I could use the OBS and do this. I don't think
Yeah.
Skype is YouTube supported. You have to go through a broadcasting thing like this to get.
Well, you could if
the
you're gonna get
Skype.
if you're gonna get a line put in, then you could use Streamlabs then at that point, or what? Not Streamlabs. What is it? Yard Stream or something like that? I don't know.
StreamYard.
Yeah, StreamYard.
Well, the problem I got down here, there's no actually. I just found this out. There's no hard line anywhere. You got to get satellite internet.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm out in the middle of nowhere, man. That's what I've been saying. I live out in nowhere. There's no cable out here. You got everything's dish. If you want cable TV, it's direct TV or what on demand or something like that. There's no
Oh, it's all
cable.
satellite.
Mm-hmm. So if you want internet, they just have a simple satellite internet provider. And it ain't that much. It's like $30-something a month, I guess.
Yeah.
But I got to thinking I could sit there and drop my tablet package and stuff because I don't need the tablet if I got, internet, because I'm just using the tablet for a hotspot. So it all equal out. To get back to a regular phone and a hotspot, I'll still be spending what I'm spending like now, but I'll have better internet.
Right.
No more excuses.
Oh yeah. True that. True that. True that.
Yeah. But
Tails,
yeah,
you
huh?
read what Tails is saying? John Boy's full of hillbilly ideas. I think he might be my dad. Never met my dad. John Boy, is that you, Dad?
It is, because I mean, if your name is Sue, then I am your dad. I named my son Sue. Because I knew I wouldn't be around to raise you.
Oh my God.
What?
Wow.
You've heard that old song, haven't you?
Yeah. Oh man.
That's Johnny Cash, wasn't it? Singing that song.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Boy Named Sue, I believe, was the title of it.
Yeah.
He named
Good
that
old
kid
Johnny
Sue
Cash.
so he'd learn how to defend himself and everything. He said, I knew I wasn't going to be there to teach you.
Tails. He said.
What?
He's like, and I would come back to Sue one day. He laughing my ass off.
I am missing something. Oh, I'm looking at my chat over there. Don't work.
Oh man. Dog adopter for life is still in the house. Johnny Cash, yeah, you're right. It was Johnny Cash.
Yeah, that music back in those
Man,
days is different.
yeah. Man, there's still like 11 people in here.
Really. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's cool, I guess. I don't see but
Wow.
maybe 4 of them chatting.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was like, wait.
Teacup, hurdy-gurdy, dog adopter for life, bamboo.
Yeah, hurdy-gurdy. Nah. Good night.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, what do you want to talk about? I mean,
No, man. I think you should just get some rest, dude.
I want to find out what that was to come on my foot.
What?
I'm serious, man. It looks like a piece of daggum ruby.
Wow.
You didn't hear about that?
Yeah, no, yeah. You were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
I still can't believe
The
it,
only
though.
way it's so small, I took pictures of it. Like I said, I showed my neighbor, and he looked. I go, "What do you think that is?" And I show him the picture, and he's looking. He said, "Looks like a gem." He goes, "What is it?" I said, "I don't know, but it come on my foot." But what's weird is, how I was having all that information coming, and then I ate, and then it's like the light switch. It's like after the switch went off, that came on my foot.
Wow.
So my third eye was in my foot, wasn't it?
Maybe.
I don't know. Think about it. In the old days, they made radios out of crystals. It's called
Yeah.
crystal radios.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, this thing here is hard. I mean, it's almost like, I don't know how to explain it. It's not broken glass, but it's hard like, I mean, you can feel it's hard like a diamond hard or something. I don't know. It's weird.
That's crazy.
It ain't like I stepped on it because it was on the top of my foot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's still weird though, man. It's like,
Well, I saved it. I got a microscope at my dad's. I'm gonna dig out somewhere in storage. I'm gonna
yeah,
put it underneath the microscope. I think I can hook a camera up. But I'm gonna get some, man, the thing's like glowing red on the inside. It's little bitty. It's about the size of a daggum good sized flea. It not any that, yeah, well, about medium sized flea, if you know. What can I compare it to?
yeah. Hmm.
It's not that big. It's just
What?
weird. I don't know, man.
Like a little pebble.
Yeah, but it's not round. It's like, oh man, how could
Got
I
like
explain
jagged
that?
edges and stuff.
Kind of, but not. It's almost like if you took two cereal bowls and put the open ends together, it's wider in the center like that, and it goes to points. You know what I mean? It's kind of.
Hmm.
Am I explaining that right?
Mm,
It's shaped not quite like a ball. It's shaped more like a saucer. Two saucers put together. You know what I mean? It's like it's bigger in the center. It's got a ring around it, or it's like. How can I explain it?
yeah, it's kind of like a flat, ovalish shape.
Right, kind of, yeah. Yeah, it's like if you had something round, like a round piece of clay, and
Hmm.
pushed it down with your thumb, and it makes the equator expand out. You know what I mean? It's kind of
Yeah,
like the equator expanded out, and it gets a little ball at the top and the bottom, but it's not quite rounded. I don't know. It's weird, man. I got a little video of it. I'll try to put something together and throw it up there. I'm
yeah.
gonna try to do a better video. It's so small, it's hard to get the camera to focus on it right.
Hmm. Good night, dog adopter for life. Magoo
Yeah,
said
see
like
you
a
later,
shark.
dog adapter. Thanks for swinging through and checking it out. You're more than
Bamboo,
welcome to
yeah.
come back anytime.
Bamboo, yes, it's over. I guess before John Boy went live, he said August
What
1st.
was?
He's asking shouldn't hangouts be done by now? And he's like, since it's August 1st for you guys.
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out. Yeah, he's 2 hours behind. Well, see, Teacup is 12 hours ahead of me, and we still had it there.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do is kind of wait this out and see what happens, right? But what if they decide the shut off time is at noon tomorrow? Or what if it goes all day well, today, I mean, not tomorrow, on the
Yeah.
1st. They didn't give a time on the 1st. So I
Or
assume midnight at 12:01 would be the 1st.
yeah, maybe. Try
So
going
maybe
live
they're
tomorrow
thinking,
with the
yeah,
panel.
well, tomorrow is today. That's
Or today,
see
later
what
today.
I know I'm saying tomorrow, but I'm meaning today. I don't want people thinking I'm talking about Wednesday. If today is Tuesday, is today
Today's
Tuesday?
Thursday.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, it is Thursday. Yeah, Thursday,
Are
August
you
1st.
kidding me?
No.
Oh man, where'd I lose some time at? I thought yesterday was Monday. Uh-oh.
No, man.
Oh
No.
my goodness. You mean the weekend's almost here?
Yep.
But Sunday was 2 days ago. I mean, seriously, y'all, I lost some time somewhere.
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday. I've lost 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
I'm serious. I thought yesterday was Monday and today was Tuesday. Dad gum, that'd been messed up. If I had to be somewhere on a certain day, I'd be showing up 2 days off.
Yeah. Maybe it's that red
Hmm.
ruby Magoo is saying.
I don't know, man. That thing, I got it right here. Just, I'm gonna unfold. I put it in a piece of notebook paper so I wouldn't lose it. It's just so itty bitty.
Wow.
Let's see if that thing's still glowing. Yeah. I don't know. It's just weird, man. I don't know what it is.
It is weird.
You know, I thought it was like a mosquito bite or something. You know what I mean? I had an itch down there, and I started scratching on it, and like the skin come off where I was scratching at, like it was a bite or something there, right? So then I kind of left it alone, and I looked down and I saw something like something was stuck in it, and I'm like, "What? You mean to tell me I got like a briar sticker in me?" And I started messing with it, and I finally, I pulled it out. And I'm like, man, it felt like a piece of glass or something. I'm like, what in the world? And I got to looking at it, and it's like red. The very center of it is glowing like an amber color. And it's just weird. I've never seen nothing like it.
Wow. That
But
is crazy.
Emily's saying it's something about crystalline, so I don't know. I'm a star child. I'm a child of the stars.
Yeah.
I wish I had my echo machine working. See, they messed that up for me. Oh, wait a minute. I've never seen this menu before. Hey, hang on. Be quiet, please. Let's see what happens here. Testing. I found the tunnel.
There it is. Echo.
Yeah,
Echo,
but it's
echo,
somewhere
echo.
that I've never been to. I've never seen this screen. It actually pulled up something called Realtek HD Audio Manager. I've never seen this before. You got a speaker configuration. Oh, it's got sound effects. Oh my god, I did not know it had sound effects.
There you go.
Let's see.
Now you could John Google it, man.
I've been John Boogling it. How do I do this?
Well, you could try doing a panel tomorrow.
What? Where are we at, Pete?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like
Crazy.
Hello. What does this one do? Hello? Hello. Hey, here's one that's in the bathroom. This is what the bathroom sounds like. Oh, let's go in the sewer pipe. We're in the sewer pipe now. Huh. What is this?
Sounding the same.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Get me out of here. Help. Hey, this is what I did without... Let me get this off. That's messed up, isn't it? I've got sound effects. Here I am. Last stream of ever. And I'm finding out I got sound effects on my computer.
You just discovered.
And I was doing it the hard way earlier.
Nice.
That is crazy, man. I did not know I had that. That is cool.
It is pretty cool, man. Pretty cool.
Man, that was crazy. I just knocked on my desk and it sounded like knocking on a big... Let me go back to the amphitheater. Igalo. Igalo. No, they're stopping. All right, that's enough of that.
Crazy.
Man, that's crazy, man. I lost my speaker and gained this real tech thing, whatever this is.
Well, that's your sound card. Realtek on your computer.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I still hear it echo. All right, down here it's got something that says equalizer, live, club, rock. I don't know what it, and then a karaoke. Oh, I can adjust my volume on my mic. Testing,
Yeah.
testing. Does that do anything different, or can you tell?
See, it's a little louder.
Oh, really? How about now? It's lower.
Yeah, well,
I can raise the gain up on the mic right there. Right there, I can raise it up right there. I need to get the sound effect off. It looks like it's still on. This is the Coliseum. Marfoogle. John Boy is looking for you. You can tell I'm sleep deprived, can't you? I got stuck on that sound effects thing. Oh, man.
Bamboo, this world is a joke, and that's so evident. Wicked politics, scamming, foundations too rampant. Where is the truth, love, and some elegance? Say it loud, we better. John Boy for president.
Yeah, vote for me.
And then he says, play reggae, play a reggae beat or a hip hop that.
Oh, I'm not gonna. It don't have that on there. I don't know what it had on there. That's I pushed the pop in the other one and it didn't do anything. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
what is this virtual sound? Virtual sound and tone surround audio. Oh, okay.
Roots is all ready for Halloween, man.
What is that?
Keeps dropping pumpkins.
Well, you know, they got Halloween stuff in the general dollars or Dollar Generals, whatever they're called.
Seriously,
I saw
already?
that.
It's only August.
I know that, and I went in there yesterday, and dadgum, if they didn't have Halloween candy out, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. They did better this year. Usually, I've seen some Christmas stuff out after July before.
Jesus.
A long time, a few years ago. I'm like, really? Everything's commercialized,
Mm-hmm.
That Eastern, and it's all pagan.
Yep.
But yeah. That gone, man. There's still people out there. Y'all ain't got tired of us yet.
Like you saying, get some candy corn.
Oh, I love some candy corn. I got to reading the ingredients. That stuff's got real honey in it. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I guess that's why I like it. I used to like honey. I'm kind of leery of it now, though. Because all the GMO and all the pesticides, those honeybees are putting that stuff back in, to make honey. It's got to be on it, in it.
Yeah.
And then I like sorghum, but man, for some reason I can taste like the still taste, like they cook it in the still pots or whatever. For some reason I can taste that metal taste in it.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Look, Peach, why don't we call it a night so everybody can get some sleep?
Yeah, man, that's fine. I'm good with that.
I appreciate you helping me out.
I didn't do anything today. Ooh, excuse
Yeah,
me.
you did. It's contagious, peeps. You should have never done that. Spoiler alert, chat room. Yawns are coming.
Yawns for everybody.
Yeah, it's contagious, man. I guarantee everybody in there started yawning.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll go ahead and call this. I guess this may be the last live on Hangouts ever for John Boy's channel. And I'd like to thank everybody for hanging in there with me and all. And peeps, you in China. I don't know where she is tonight. She must stay up for 3 days and sleep for 2.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know if she had to get her daughter or something. I don't know. Well, I don't
Oh
know.
yeah.
She was saying something about her daughter. I don't know.
But she's usually been in here a pretty long time with us, you know.
Yeah.
Peeps, you were with me the whole time on the beginning when we went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate it.
Well, Bamboo saying,
Yeah.
look inside yourself and you might find true wealth. Better to give a hand to ones who need help. Greedy necktie and greedy living on stealth. Evil go no unity and wicked can't feel never felt. Very well said, Bamboo. Maybe I didn't read it as well. Yeah. That's right. Oh God, Teacup. Jeez.
What'd you do?
She was just, I guess we're not scaring her.
Yeah.
It's not scary enough for her.
But yeah, man, y'all, we're gonna cut it on short. The marathon is over.
Try it out tomorrow.
Yeah, I will. If not, I'll just do a live from the laptop or something.
All right, cool.
But man,
Alrighty, man.
Appreciate it, peeps. And I appreciate everybody out there, Hurdy-Gurdy Man, and Teacup, and Bamboo, and Born Racer, Tails. Who else was out there? Emily Shane was up here, Naga, everybody. I appreciate it.
Applesauce.
Applesauce. Roots. Roots is everywhere. I don't know how he does it. He's everywhere and live stream at the same time. He's talented.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's call it a night, peeps. You ready?
Right, man. Yes, sir. Good night, guys. Thank you for coming.
Yep.
Peace.
Good night, everyone. Excuse me for coughing. Remember, John Boy for president, make America redneck again. Okay.